Hello and welcome to I Can't Believe This Got Greenlit 2, Summer of Sequels, a show where we discuss sequels from our childhood, our nostalgia from watching them as kids, how these franchises got made yet again, and our experiences rewatching them as adults. I'm one of your hosts, Nick Warner, and joining me, as always, Matthew Pelton.
That's still such a cute little intro.
It's so fun. It's so much better than summer sessions.
Yeah, don't. Okay, some of the summer sessions, they're old, okay?
Yeah, sure.
I'm proud of some of them, but some of them, first of all, we were fucking sucked for some of them. But if you look back, we did the same thing where Nick was like, I'm going to change the intro because it's like a spin-off of the OG show. And then if you listen to it, it's like the most clunky, convoluted thing ever. It sucks.
I tried my best with it, but I realized that, the OG intro is like, you can't beat it.
It's gold. It's crisp.
So it's like,
you know what I mean?
You gotta find a way to tie a little bit in, but you can't change it too much. So I feel like it works for this.
Well, the original, and I can say this because I didn't write it, so I don't sound arrogant, but the opening, it's like silk. You know what I mean? It sounds nice coming out of your mouth. It's beautiful.
You know what? I'll pat myself on the back a little bit because whenever I think of an elevator pitch, I literally go back to that intro and I'm like, how can I make a pitch for a film or anything else that I'm doing sound as good and as concise and to the point as the Greenlit intro? So it's literally 10 seconds. You understand exactly what it is and go from there. It's how do I do that with a film? I don't know if I'll ever get there, but we'll see.
Well, I think I've told you the amount of times I'll be in a class or just walking around, whatever, and somehow Greenlit will get brought up in conversation.
Sure.
As in I usually force it into the conversation. And someone's like, oh, what is that? And I just say the intro.
Even though you've messed it up almost every time.
I don't say it word for word because I don't know it word for word, but
you get the gist.
Yeah, you get the gist. And then I think this is not, I swear this is not a bit. I'm not just saying this for the show. But there was once that someone was like, hey, what's Greenlit? And I'm like, oh, let me tell you. And I go to say the intro, and I swear to God, I think I was nervous. I don't know if it was a date. I don't know what it was. But I went, welcome to I Can't Believe This Got Greenlit.
Yeah, you have said this before.
I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. Why'd I do that?
That is why. I hope it was a date. But you know what? I hope the date went well. I hope they found that charming and they carried on.
It definitely didn't. Yeah. I'd love to sit here and lie to you, but that's not what happened there.
It's totally fine. Today on Greenlit, on the Summer of Sequels, we are talking about the 2015 film Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, the follow-up to our weirdly recent Paul Blart Mall Cop episode. It feels like we just, actually Maddie and I were talking about it a little bit earlier. She was like, didn't you guys just do that movie? Because I feel like a lot of the sequels that we're returning to later on in this series are movies that we've covered either on the summer sessions, which was now 3 years ago.
Yeah, which is wild.
Or a lot of movies very early on, like Spy Kids or, those types of movies in season 1, season 2 of the show.
Yeah, a lot of the WECB stuff.
Right, exactly. And a lot of those episodes, we even say in the episode, we're 20 years old. 21. It's we're not that much older, but it feels like just eons ago.
Yeah, we're now
this movie
37, 39.
85.
Yeah.
So to have this movie so fresh on the mind is good, but I did have to do a double feature of these movies last night, which was very interesting. Because Maddie's sister Sam is in town, and we were all hanging out, and I was like, all right, guys, we're going to watch Paul Blart. And thankfully, Maddie and Sam both love these movies. So,
Sam
especially
too?
the first one. Yes, especially the first one. So, I had a really great audience rewatching these, and I'm sure that helped influence my thoughts a little bit. Plus the nostalgia, as I mentioned in our original Paul Blart episode, my nostalgia behind these movies. I had this nice warm blanket with a few of the bits and the comedy in it. So I will say that upon rewatch, especially of the first one, the second one we'll get to, but the first one especially, I had a better time watching it, I think, than I did the first rewatch. Because obviously, again, I loved it growing up. First rewatch, I was like, there's definitely some things in here that don't work for me now. But now this time, with Sam and Maddie, in the audience, kind of watching along with me, and then also comparing to second Paul Blart, I was like, man, there's such a charm to that first one. Even if, again, it's maybe not the perfect movie for me, and there are definitely some things that don't work for me, but there were moments. I have to give it to the team.
Well, okay. Because if we double featured Paul Blart 1 and 2, just like you, Maddie and Sam did, me and Nicole. And if you listen to the original Greenlit Paul Blart and then this one, if you do a double feature, I feel like I might have to change my tune a lot.
I'm
not gonna lie.
I think so too.
I don't know. Maybe I was just in a bad mood when I watched the original Paul Blart.
This was me with Hoodwinked.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you hated Hoodwinked.
I hated Hoodwinked. I was in such a down mood when I not only recorded the episode, but also when I watched the movie.
Sure.
And it just led to me not really loving it. And then I rewatched it after our conversation where you really talked it up. And I don't know if it was that, and then plus being in a better mood and having the quality of the movie be much better on Tubi. But man, I had such a better time watching that. And I feel like the same happened here.
With Paul Blart, right?
Yeah.
Because my memory of our first Greenlit episode on Paul Blart was that we were not big fans of it at all.
Correct.
And just to say, and I especially with this one and also kind of double featuring it is, okay, we're 24, right?
Sure.
We're clearly not like the target demographic for this film.
Right.
However, having said that, there genuinely is a charm to it. And there is such like a brightness to it that like even if I can sit here and now watching the first one again, almost like a year and a half after like the first time we rewatched it for the show, and I'm like, yeah, do some of the jokes not really work for me now? No, not as much. But like you could tell everyone making it did have like such a good time, and they just enjoyed making it, and they just wanted to make like kids laugh, and it does work on that level. It does. And like it does come across. The joy of making these movies comes across.
For sure.
And that's something I didn't pick up on the first time. That's probably why I was so harsh to Paul Blart 1 back in the day.
And you know what? This is part of the reason why we're doing summer sequels, right? Is not only to dive into the sequels of the movies that we covered, but also to like relitigate our thoughts on the first movie. And I think that's why I really like watching the first one in either direct comparison to the second one, but also just to get a refresher, to have like the episode, you know, in our mind of what we thought, and maybe re-listen to that episode, kind of understand what our thought process was at the time, and then now rewatching it with that, understanding kind of what our thoughts are now. I think that's why I like doing this. And I know it's only our second episode doing this, but I'm already really liking this process.
I do refuse to re-listen to the podcast. I can't be asked to do that.
I usually listen to it on 2x speed and just like, all right, get the cliff notes.
Yeah.
What do we generally think? But you know, and then obviously rewatch the movie and all that. So,
well, like, okay, I have a quick question. Is it okay? The biggest reason, and I'm sure this is like a lot of people, the biggest reason I don't re-listen to the Greenlit stuff, like I don't know how you edit those. That blows my mind. But I can't listen to myself talk.
Dude, when we first started at WCB, that was my biggest issue.
Yeah.
Because up until that moment, I had never really been on camera. I never really been on mic. I hated the sound of my voice, even in like videos. And then the more I got to, and I don't know if it's just the sweet, beautiful sounds of the WCB mics, but I really got accustomed to it. And I was like, you know, there were some times where I was like, man, I think I am a little bit funny. Sometimes.
It's rare.
Maybe.
It's rare.
It's very rare.
I usually have the humor of the show.
Usually. But like, yeah. Like we would be nothing without you. But,
no. I want to make that very clear.
Very abundantly clear. No, but like I just got used to it. And then after a while I was like, okay, this is what it is. And like, also, being the editor of the show, there are moments where I'm like, okay, I know in real time, like what I'm going to cut out, what I'm going to kind of edit around, and then being mindful of like how I am talking and trying not to do, you know, say ums and ahs and all that fun stuff. I definitely fall into it, but you know, there's only so much I can do. But
now, when you say most of the stuff we're going to cut around, I'm assuming that's most of like your dialogue.
Yeah, it's like, you know, me trying to make jokes and like trying to be relatable and funny and like,
you gotta stop.
Like you just gotta like get rid of all that, right? Like it just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. So, it really doesn't. I feel so mean right now. I'm so sorry.
I'm playing into it too, so it's fine. So going into childhood stories for Paul Blart 2, had you seen this? Was Paul Blart 2 on your radar? I don't actually remember if you had seen the first one, so let's hear it.
Okay, so I think this is a weird situation we're in because, as you know, first Paul Blart, originally we covered it and I trashed the shit out of it. Again, all respect to like people who made it and stuff. It just like really wasn't for me. But I always, not that I looked fondly on the second one, but I have no memories of the first one as a kid. The second one, I really do.
All your nostalgia was there.
All of it. Because this was around like probably 6th or 7th grade. and I think I've talked about them on the show, and if not on Greenlit, then it was on Director and Development. But I got a friend group in middle school called the Movie Gang. I know, super cool title, right?
It's been 75 episodes and I've never heard of this?
You've never heard about this?
No.
Okay, and like, what's before middle school? Is it elementary school?
Yeah, I guess.
Whoever I was friends with in elementary school, I don't remember them at all.
Okay, great. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out. Sorry, I had no memory of you whatsoever. But then I went to middle school and I met this kid named Will, and he was into like filmmaking.
Okay.
I was just into like movies. I never really cared about like making movies. I just thought movies were cool.
This is in like 4th grade and he was into like film production?
No, it was like 6th.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like 6th grade. He was on to film production.
Okay.
And I just thought he was cool. So I just kind of faked it.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I love filmmaking too. Like, let's be friends.
Sure.
And then the more I talked to him, like, I started hanging out with his friends and they were all into films. So we created the Movie Gang. And it was like once a week we just go watch movies at the theaters, and that's all we did.
Dude.
Like, we wouldn't hang out anywhere else besides the movie theater.
I'm honestly baffled that genuinely this has never come up
I'm
before in
shocked.
our personal lives or ever on this show.
We lived together.
This
I did
is
not know this.
unbelievable.
You know what? I think I've told this story in an interview, so you just got busted, dude.
Was it the recent one?
It might
'Cause
have
I've
been.
read all the other ones.
Okay, it might have been the recent one. You might be off the hook there.
Yeah,
Wait, why didn't you read the most recent one? It's like the best one.
Resend it to me. I'll check it out.
Okay, you got it. I think I always say this. The only time I talk positively about Nick is when he's not listening. So I think if you read that interview, there's like paragraphs of just how much I love you.
That's partially why I've started reading them now.
Do you open them and just like Command F Nick Warner?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude.
You just skip the rest.
It's just Nick.
Well,
yeah,
that
no,
explains why you don't know the movie game. There you go.
Skipped right past it. I probably glanced over it, but never really saw it. So.
You fucker.
Sorry about that.
No, so anyway, I'm gonna take that slight and move on. So we had the Movie Gang, and that's how I got like into filmmaking. Was I just kind of faked an interest, and then it became like a real interest. And now I don't think any of them do movie stuff besides me.
Oh, sick.
I think I'm the only one that still
Truly
does it.
fake it till you make it.
Yeah. But we went to one of the early movies we saw was Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
In theaters?
In theaters.
Dang.
We all went to go watch this in theaters, and a theater that like doesn't even exist anymore. It was in my hometown. It shut down because of COVID. We all went to go watch it, and my memory is it was again a bunch of 6th graders sitting in a line, popcorn all over the ground because we were little menaces, and like we were just laughing so hard. And I don't remember if we're laughing with or at or probably both. Because again, we were a bunch of little like dicks, so we were probably like, we could do better, whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
You guys were already pretentious at age 14.
1,000%. I was the biggest asshole 6th grader you've ever met.
That's crazy.
But every time I think of this movie, I do think of little 6th grade me sitting in the theater, like watching the wind and going, I want to go to Vegas. That looks really cool. And
That's so sweet.
I want to drive a Segway.
I want to gamble my entire life savings away.
Maybe. I want my daughter to be kidnapped.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I do. I do have really fond memories of this movie. It was just like a good time.
That's incredible. Weirdly enough, I think that I may have also seen this in theaters because obviously a lot of the movies that we cover early 2000s. This one, because the sequel, and it came out a little bit after the first one, 2015. So we were 14, 13 years old.
True.
And like this is obviously when I was going to the theaters with friends. I don't remember like who I saw it with, but I like remember seeing this in theaters. Obviously I had, as we talked about on the first episode with Paul Blart, I'd seen the first one like a ton of times because I had that DVD. I remember the DVD cover so vividly.
Yeah.
And just watched it all the time. So I had to have seen this in theaters. Like there's almost no way that I didn't. I don't remember, again, a specific memory about it. But I most likely saw this in theaters. But I do remember thinking about like, okay, had I seen this movie before, all this stuff? The two things that I remembered so much is that they were at a hotel.
Yep.
And that Paul Blart was in a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, the whole
and those
movie.
were like the two things that really, truly stuck out in my memory that were just like, okay, yeah, I definitely saw this movie. Now the plot, I didn't remember as much, just thinking about it, like from my childhood. But I do remember those 2 points. So I was like, yes, I definitely saw it. And I most likely saw it in theaters because it was definitely around the time where I would have been seeing almost everything.
So you didn't get like the Paul Blart popcorn tin?
No, do you have it? Is it in your collection?
No, I wish. I wish it was a real thing. You know, if this came out like more recently, there would be like a Segway popcorn tin.
Yeah.
Wait, that'd be so sick. I don't know how you. Maybe a Segway sipper. I'm not sure how you do it.
Right.
Can we just design popcorn tins?
Yeah, no, you have all the liquid in the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
The
There'd be a
wheels and
straw that
everything,
goes
and the
down
straw
like
would
the
go right
handles
up
and stuff.
The
That'd be
handles, yeah.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Okay,
You gotta-
so you
you
know
gotta
what's
get on
weird,
that.
by the way?
Can we do like third party, like Etsy?
Yeah, we go like
Send some money
3D
to-
printed or something.
Yeah.
Is again, I have a memory of being in the theater, but I also don't remember a ton about the actual movie. The only two things I remember is one, Vegas, because I remember being like, Vegas looks awesome, and two was I don't know why, but the scene where they're all in the hallway and they're doing like the exchange for the painting and his daughter.
Yes.
And like his crew comes up, like his Avengers crew.
Oh, we'll get to that.
And the one guy that has like a cape and he goes, I just got back from my haircut.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that was like the funniest shit
Yeah.
I've ever heard in my life.
It is hysterical. Again,
It's
like,
great.
There are moments, even if not everything lands, there are moments that genuinely got me, and like especially with the first one, but here too, like I think they definitely capitalized on like the individual bits for this movie.
Oh yeah,
And I
1000%.
think it worked well. While the overall story was like, it's fine, and we'll get to the production in a minute, but the humor in it and just like the feeling of like everyone was having fun making this. It really lands.
It shines
hats off.
through. Even like, again, not to like go over like final thoughts and all that stuff, but the plot for a lot of the movie there like almost isn't even a plot. It's just like a bunch of bits kind of back to back to back.
Sure.
But even with that stuff is like, man, the fun and love that this crew and cast had is just so apparent.
Yeah.
Like they're having the best time ever.
It's a fun time. So going into production, this movie was directed by Andy Fickman, who was also the director of Race to Witch Mountain. Super fun.
Okay, never heard of it. I'm not gonna lie.
You've never heard of Race to
No.
Witch Mountain?
What is
What?
that?
It's a movie with The Rock, I'm pretty sure.
What?
Yeah, you've never seen this movie?
What the hell is this?
Dude, it's a Disney movie. It's live action. And it's like it almost reminded me of Zathura when we were watching Zathura. I actually
Really?
thought it was this movie for a while. Yeah.
Is this that's not the movie where he does the peck thing, is it?
No, that's Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh, you're so right.
Those go almost like hand in hand to me. I'm like, oh, it's like this adventure movie with The Rock when he still had hair.
Oh yeah. What a scary time to be alive.
Yeah. So that's super fun. But this movie was written by Nick
Warner.
Bacay.
Oh.
Bacay. I don't know how to
Nick
pronounce
Bacay.
it, but he and also Kevin James, which Kevin James we all know. Kevin James is great. But Nick was the writer of the OG Paul Blart and Zookeeper. So that's super fun. And what you'll find with this movie in particular is a lot of the same crew comes back for the second movie.
Oh, that's cool.
So I think that's interesting. It's not like, they develop it and then send it off to a new crew. It's a lot of the same people, which is super fun. This movie was produced by Kevin James, Adam Sandler, Jack. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Giraputo?
Nailed it.
Maybe?
Maybe.
Go with that.
Probably.
And Todd Garner. The cinematography was done by Dean Semler, who did Dances with Wolves, which he won an Oscar for.
Oh no, yeah, I was about to say no shit.
He also did Bruce Almighty, Apocalypto, Maleficent, The Ridiculous Six, and Date Night. So a lot of Sandler in there.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
a big future Greenlit player.
Yes, for sure. This movie was edited by Scott Hill, who edited Zookeeper, Bruce Almighty, Here Comes the Boom, Evan Almighty, among many more. Again, big, a lot of big. I'm convinced that like most of this crew is going to get into our Hall of Fame.
Probably. Well, it seems like the same crew kind of just does all these movies together.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Yeah,
A lot of like Sandler, Kevin James, weirdly The Rock.
Yeah. Well, then there's The Rock just thrown in there. It's the Sandler collective.
Exactly. Well, yeah, this is like a famous thing though. Like he gets the same crew
that
and
is
a lot
true.
of the same cast for like a lot of his movies. And the joke is that he goes to Hawaii for a lot of them and just like goes on vacation. Yeah. Makes $1 billion and then gets
Gets all his friends paid.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
His
it's
wife's
awesome.
in there, his kids are in there. It's great.
Dude, that's like the dream.
I love it. Well, and especially speaking of Hall of Fame, this guy's come up on our show before. So music by Rupert Gregson Williams, who did Click, which is, I think, a future episode for sure. The Road to El Dorado, Bedtime Stories, Grown Ups, Zookeeper, Happy Gilmore 2, Over the Hedge, B Movie, and my favorite, Hubie Halloween.
Okay. I'm not going to comment on that.
On the fast track to our Hall of Fame for sure.
Especially because of Hubie Halloween.
Especially
we have a big childhood connection.
That was definitely in my childhood. Yeah. Not just like one drunk Halloween at Everson. We're at the part of the show where we're going to guess how much this movie cost to make and how much this movie made.
Okay, so, budget was $25 million.
Ding, ding, ding. We know that because we just talked to Todd Garner, which we'll get to. But yes, both of these movies, because I have the context for the other two, both these movies had a budget of $26 million, $25 million, right around there.
Yeah.
Now, how much do you think the first, or I'll give it to you. So the first movie made $186 million.
Wow. Okay. I knew it was a big hit.
In the box office on a $25 million budget.
Sure.
So it made bank. Now, what do you think the second movie made?
Well, again, I can kind of cheat a little because we just talked to Todd Garner, which we're about to cut to, but we're kind of feeling out of order here. But I know he said, and actually I just knew this already, but I know both of these were pretty big successes. First one was like $180 million, same budget. And you got that win money. I'm gonna say it was still a big success, but I'm gonna say it made a little less than the first one. So I'll say it made like $160 million.
In the $100 million ranges, what I found was $107 million.
So
okay. Still made money.
Yeah, still made a good amount.
Still was profitable.
Yeah.
But wasn't as big of a success as Paul Blart 1, which is fine because, not everyone's going to see the sequel, and I feel like that applies to a lot of sequels.
True, but still, considering $25 million budget, theoretically double that for marketing, you're looking at $50 million. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. So going into some more production here. So this movie was nominated for 6 Razzies.
You mean Oscars? I think you said the wrong one.
It was nominated for Worst Picture, Worst Actor, Worst Director, Worst Screenplay, so the big 4, and then Worst Sequel, and Worst Screen Combo for, and I quote, Kevin James and either his Segway or his glued-on mustache.
It didn't win any, right?
I don't know. It didn't win any, but it was nominated for 6, which I thought was pretty funny. In an October 2012 interview, Kevin James said that he liked the idea of filming the sequel at the Mall of America. If you remember, in the movie, one of the people on his team is a security guard at the Mall of America, which I think is a funny little callback. Principal photography commenced on April 21st, 2014 at Wynn, Las Vegas, and ended on June 26, 2014. It is the first time that Steve Wynn has allowed a commercial film to be shot on the property, which we will get to, in a moment with Todd, which is a very, very interesting story. So in January of 2022, Kevin James expressed interest in making a third film, but stated that a script had not been developed.
There's an idea.
Exactly. Co-star Lauren Ash, the love interest at the end, had also expressed interest in doing a sequel. Which is very interesting. And to talk more about this sequel, along with the production of the film, we have a very special guest, Todd Garner, and I'm going to throw it over to Pelton to introduce him. Pelton, take it away.
We are beyond excited to have a very special guest joining us today. He's a producer whose work has shaped so much of what we grew up watching, from Anger Management to 13 Going on 30 to Zoom, Zookeeper, and the film we are very, very, very excited to discuss today, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. If that wasn't enough, he's also behind the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Todd Garner.
Hey, welcome to the show.
No, thank you, man. You know what? There's not a day that goes by that I don't talk about Mall Cop 2. So this is true.
I can tell. It's every day. You get stopped on the streets for Mall Cop.
So going back, we were talking just before about the win. So we could start there.
Yeah, I mean, look, literally just got back. I just had a spring break with my daughter, who's 18, who was I think 5 when we shot Mall Cop 2.
Oh, wow.
And I lived in the Wynn for 3 months.
No
And
way.
actually,
Did
it
you
was
really?
actually, to be fair, I actually lived in the Encore for three
Oh my
months.
God.
And I never went home. I live in LA and I never went home. Everybody came to me, shocker. Like every weekend, we're like, no, we'll come to you. It'll be fun.
If we
But
have to.
Yeah.
my kids came out. I have a son who's 25 now and a daughter who's 18. And so they came out and stayed with me for a couple weeks with my wife at the Wynn. And one day we'd gone on roller coasters and we went to Serendipity and had ice cream and went to the dolphin show and like Blue Man Group, and we're walking back and I have my daughter on my shoulder. I think she was like 5 or 4, and I said, do you want to watch a volcano erupt? Because it was walking from the Caesars to the Wynn. She goes, what? And we stopped at the Mirage, and the volcano went up, and she just leaned over to me and said, Daddy, this has been the best day of my life. And my wife and I looked at each other and said, uh-oh, I think we might have just created a monster. So
Yeah.
for her spring break, she's a senior in high school. For her spring break, she wanted to go to
I'm gonna
Vegas.
go back.
Oh no.
So we just spent 4 days in Vegas. It was fun. We saw a lot
Oh,
of
that's
shows.
incredible.
It was fun.
See, as someone who has never been to Vegas thus far, I fear I would be the same because I'm a big like themed entertainment guy. I live in Florida currently, so yeah, I feel like I would get on the train there.
Yeah, it's right up your alley.
Right,
It really is.
Right. Well, we'll get to the story of why we shot at the Wynn, but it's an interesting story about producing and putting movies together.
Sure.
I say when you guys were there both times, like recently and a couple years ago, no one tried to like steal any art or anything
No.
like that, right?
You know what? You know what's funny about that art thing that you're saying is we put all that art up,
Did you really?
and I kid you not, people would stop and take photos of it because they thought it was real. They thought it was real.
Was
No.
it so? Was it
No,
up
no, we didn't put
during?
it like understand. No, you have to understand. When back in the day had all that art, like Kunz's and all that, but all the paintings,
Mhm.
those were just props, and we
Well,
put them
yeah.
up. And people stopped and thought they were real because there's so much art at the Wynn they didn't know. They
You don't
just, "Oh,
know."
look, a
Yeah.
Rembrandt. Let's just
And-
take a picture of this Rembrandt. And
And they were up for the full 3 months.
pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Wow.
yeah. We shot. I mean, I don't think there's a square inch of. We never left. I think there's like 2 shots outside of this hotel
Yeah.
that we shot. The entire movie takes place in the hotel.
Right.
And we shot literally in every single square inch of those 2 hotels,
That
the
is
Wynn and the
awesome.
Encore.
That is very cool.
Oh, so you said the Encore, and my brain immediately went, "Oh, that's like the famous rooftop scene where he zip lines across." And
We were on that roof for 5 days. That's no
That's
joke up
5
there.
days.
Yeah, that's no joke up there. Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, all right. I wanna go back to the beginning, right? So when did you realize that film producing was the route you wanted to take? Did you go to film school? Did you grow up making movies? Kind of walk us through the very beginning.
Right. So I grew up in San Fernando in Los Angeles and didn't know anybody in the business, but I grew up loving comedies. I grew up watching Arthur and Stripes and all those movies growing up. It was just, and so really loved it. I'm even like before VHS, like we would like sit and have to wait till it came on HBO or on TV, which is even before HBO. And then VHS came. We got those VHSs for Animal House and Porky's, and it just completely defined my life. So in high school, I was a theater kid. I got into theater, and I started to act and write plays and direct plays. And then we did a sketch show in high school that I wrote and directed for the last 2 years of high school. So I pretty much in high school kind of thought, oh, I want to be. I knew I didn't want to be an actor, but I thought, oh, maybe I'll be a director. So I went to Occidental College because my father went there, and they don't even really have a film school. So I was lucky enough they allowed me to take a lot of independent studies. And so I got a job at an industrial house, which back then companies would make industrial videos, and it was right at the beginning of MTV too. So I got in there and I was working on a lot of commercials and music videos and these industrials, and then I became an editor. So I was an editor actually for 4 years, the last 2 years of college, and then 2 years after college, editing all over Los Angeles. And I ended up editing in San Diego and thought, this is crazy, man. I'm so far away from what I really want to do. and then I thought, man, I probably don't want to be a director because I directed a bunch of shorts and things in college, and also in the industrial space, I was in directing, and I really thought I want to be a producer, and also have a degree in economics. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll go to business school. So I got a job at Wells Fargo Bank,
Hmm.
worked there for 2 years, almost 2 years, and I became a loan officer. And then I was going to go to Stanford Business School and never made it because I got a job at Paramount Television as an accountant for a brand new TV show that I was certain was going to fail, which was called The Arsenio Hall Show. So I was the accountant on the Arsenio Hall show for the first season of that show,
Wow.
when like Eddie Murphy would come on
I
and
was
Bill
about to say,
Clinton. It
yeah.
Yeah.
was wild. It was so
That's
much fun. I was like
incredible.
23 years old
Yeah.
on the Paramount lot. And on the Paramount lot, I discovered, so I never made it to Stanford, by the way.
Yeah.
On the Paramount lot, I discovered there was this job called a creative executive. And I'm like, ooh, that's perfect. I want to be an executive and I want to be creative. So the way to get that job was to go up through the creative side at the studio. And the way to do that was to be an assistant. And the way to do that was learn how to read scripts and learn what development was. So I got a job. I took a class at UCLA Extension to learn how to read scripts. Learned to read scripts, got a job as assistant at Columbia Pictures, which was then bought by Sony. So I was there through that first year when Peter Guber and John Peters took over, which was madness.
Mm.
Saw it kind of from the inside, and then found out there was this creative executive job open at Disney, 1990. And I got a job at Disney as a creative executive and was there for 10 years and ended my run there as president of production. So
That's
I was president
incredible.
of production for 2 years with actually I was co-president with Nina Jacobson, who now produces all the Hunger Games and a lot of
Mm.
stuff for Ryan Murphy. And amazing executive and amazing producer, and was an amazing partner. And so we ran that for 2 years. And then my boss, Joe Roth, left Disney, and then I left Disney with him
Mm.
to start a studio called Revolution Studios.
Mm.
Made 50 movies there, and then became an independent producer 22 years ago, 21, 22 years ago. And I made like 50 movies as an independent producer.
That is
That's
absolutely
wild.
incredible. So that
Now,
was the 90s was Eisner era, right? Over at
Yeah, so I
Disney.
came in under
Yeah.
Eisner. I came in like a
Wow.
couple weeks after, like a couple months after Pretty Woman had come out.
Oh, no
So
way.
I was with
Okay.
Eisner and Katzenberg. Katzenberg was my boss.
That's
It was
wild.
wild, man.
Yeah.
We made some great movies. I mean, we made Ransom and Armageddon and The
Yeah.
Rock and Con Air and Ed Wood and Oh
Yeah.
Brother Where Art Thou, and we made a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean, National Treasure,
Hmm.
Crimson Tide. We made a lot of great movies. It was really fun. It was a really fun, crazy time during all that transition.
Hmm.
now
Now,
it's
yeah.
funny you dropped those because I was gonna say you've made so many pretty massive films,
Hmm.
like from very early in your career all the way till now. I mean,
Hmm.
just huge blockbusters in that whole filmography. So was there like a specific moment or project where one, you kind of felt like you gotten your big break, but two, you almost found like your groove? You're like, this is how it's done, this is how I like to do it.
Hmm. Mall Cop 2,
I knew
100%.
it. I knew
Was
it.
it?
I
That
could
was the
tell.
one.
That
That
was
was the
it.
one. It was all came together. My skills, my ambition, everything.
Yes, it was the culmination of
Um,
everything. Yeah.
uh, well, my first movie I ever worked on was Father of the Bride.
Yep.
That was the
Awesome.
very first movie I worked on at Disney. But I gotta say, the run. So we when Jerry Bruckheimer came over from Paramount, he and Don Simpson had a deal at Paramount, and so the first movie that Don and Jerry did at Disney was Crimson Tide. I did not work on that, but I was fortunate to have every movie after that I worked on in some capacity. And so that run was amazing between The Rock, Con Air,
Yeah,
Gone in
it's
60
wild.
Seconds,
Yeah.
National Treasure, Pearl Harbor,
Hmm.
Pirates. I mean, that run Jerry and us went on was so much fun. And what was so great was Jerry really was so generous and wanted me to be on set. So I was on set for a lot of Gone in 60 Seconds. I was on set for a lot of those movies. And then at the same time, Adam Sandler and I had a good run together. So he and I've made a lot of movies with him, both as
Hmm.
an actor and as a producer, him being actor and producer. And
Hmm.
so I had this really fun run of Sandler and Jerry for kind of a long time. And then peppering it in with like Oh Brother Where Art Thou and Ed Wood and Summer of Sam and He Got Game. So I got to work with a lot of really interesting, cool filmmakers as well.
Mm. And as you know, with your history in editing and also in like accounting and the finance side, do you feel like that experience really helped you in the producing world?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to understand finance and
Mm.
understand P&Ls and understand that you have to make money in
Hmm.
this business. So that's good to have. But editing is probably the biggest skill that I've used in
Yeah.
my entire career, just all the time. There's not a day that between just knowing kind of editing the script, editing while you're shooting, knowing how shots are going to fit together, knowing how what you really need when a director says, "Well, I don't got it," and you know as that you've been an editor, you can know if you really do have it or not. And then, of course, editing the movie is important, and then also just editing the trailers and editing the TV spots, understanding
Hmm.
how that works. So
Yeah.
editing is probably the greatest skill that I learned, and I use more than any other skill out there.
No, definitely.
I say me,
So,
me and Nick have that because we also, as you know, we went to college together, but we have done a
mhm.
couple of shorts and stuff like that together as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm. Hmm.
And he's usually like the producer, I'm usually the director, but we also edit everything together,
Hmm.
mostly because no one just wants to edit for us, so we kind of have to do it. But there is something to be said about like we call it our editing brain, where we'll be
Yeah.
on set and like no one else will know what we're talking about, but we'll know like no, if we do this and this, it will kind of link up together and it will
Right.
work.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that still applies in like such massive different scales. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody who's listening, it's the best skill you can hone for sure.
Definitely. So from here, obviously, you have this massive filmography, kind of leading up to the Paul Blart films, which we're talking about today. So, how did you get to Paul Blart, and more specifically, Paul Blart 2? Was it difficult to return to this franchise, which with such a successful first film, where the stakes were probably likely higher?
Mhm. Well, it's interesting because movies are never, ever just one thing. They're always linked throughout careers. So
Mm.
I also made The Waterboy with Adam Sandler.
Yes,
So
Hmm?
love that movie.
and what's interesting about that was that movie was great because met Sandler on that movie. I
Mhm.
bought it as a pitch. I literally heard the pitch, drove back to the Disney, walked into a screening room, saw Joe Roth, pitched him the movie, said, if you can make it for less than 25 million bucks, you can make it.
Wow.
So totally left us alone. And then, and then worked on it, edited it, worked on it with Sandler, was there the whole time. So it's just basically me and Jack Araputo, Frank Caracci, and Adam Sandler. We're pretty much the
Wow.
whole creative team from our side. I mean, obviously they have a much bigger creative team, but like that, and so we really were just the core team on that movie. And then at the same time on that movie, we also were about to release Beloved, which was like Oprah Winfrey's big movie.
Mhm.
And so the studio was so focused on that movie. And I just sat there and I was like, you guys are crazy, man. I'm telling you, this mall cop movie is gonna make so much money. And they're like, okay. So much so that the head of distribution, this guy named Dick Cook, who's the nicest man on the planet, I got so tired of them talking Beloved. I go, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll bet you $1,000 that Waterboy outgrows his Beloved. Now, don't forget, Beloved had like Oprah and a best-selling book by Toni
Mhm.
Morrison.
Yeah.
It was like everything. And I'm over here with me and Adam Sandler. Like, and then in the middle of it, my boss got let go. A new boss comes in. He hated the movies. And literally, nobody paid it. The only person who was paying attention to the movie was Joe Roth. He's like,
Yeah.
this thing's gonna work. And so the opening weekend of that movie, it made $39.6 million, whatever, something around
Wow.
there.
Mhm.
And literally, I came in Monday, and Dick Cook handed me a check for $1,000
No,
because
let's
I
go.
think we outgrossed Beloved in the opening weekend.
Yeah, that's
But
great.
but the greatest moment of Mall Cop was, speaking of Eisner, is I'm
Mm.
sitting in my little tiny rental in the Pacific Palisades. Like, I would think I was probably a VP at the time. And at 7 a.m., I got a call from Michael Eisner on Monday. And he was like, thanks, man. That movie's great. We should make more like that. And he had never called me at home. I was like, yeah, okay, let's make
Wow.
more.
Yeah.
So where that ties in is Sandler then had a thing with Kevin. They did movies together, and he really liked
Mhm.
Kevin. And I had been after Kevin James since Hitch I had pitched him like 8 movies and he always passed. I'd go to the
Oh, no.
set of King of Queens and sit there and pitch my heart out and
Yeah.
he'd pass. And finally I was visiting Sandler and he goes, "Hey, Kevin James has this movie that he's working on. He's almost done." And by the way, we were like 6 weeks out from the strike, the
Oh wow.
2008
Yeah. Sure.
2008
Sure.
strike.
Yeah.
And he goes, he needs some, you guys could just get together and you could do what you do. Because I had made Deuce Bigelow with Sandler by this time. And so we had a really good thing going. And so I went to Kevin James's house and I go, "So show me the script." And he goes, "We don't have a script. I think I just want to be like a cop who's like on a Segway in Miami. They go down the boardwalk." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I go, "You mean like the mall cops? They have those Segways." He goes, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, that's funny." I said, "Let's just do Die Hard in a mall."
Yeah. That's incredible.
And then
There it is.
and we, for literally 6 weeks, just bore down and got this script done in 6 weeks before the writer's strike. And
Wow.
then made that movie. And the funny thing about that movie was because Observe and Report was out there. So Seth Rogen, who Sony really loved, and Seth Rogen's making a mall cop movie. Everybody was focused on that movie. And and during the whole shooting of the first Mall Cop and the release of it, I was like, this feels like The Waterboy.
Yeah, it's the same
It
thing all
feels
over again.
exactly the same.
Right.
It feels like it's the same budget. It was $25 million. And I'm telling you, the way the audience is responding, this feels like The Water. I've been here before. And all the tracking was saying it was going to open to 19. It was exactly like The Waterboy. And I kept saying, "You guys, I'm telling you."
Just watch.
And that movie opened to $39 million.
There, I was
There you
about
go.
to say, yeah, there you go.
And so it was like, and grossed 185. And it was
Yeah.
like a huge, massive hit. So we went off and did Here Comes the Boom. We did Zookeeper. We did other movies. But we always loved Paul Blart. We always loved the character of him. Kevin loved playing him. We loved writing for him. He's such a nice man. He really is a good person.
Yeah.
And so we really liked him. And so then the studio was like, "Well, is there a sequel in there?" And we like, "Well, yeah, we always had the idea of doing Taken as with Mall Cop, right? With Blart." And so that was the original idea. As we did Die Hard, let's do Taken.
Sure.
And so, but we thought it'd be funny if he's on vacation with his daughter
Yeah.
in Hawaii and she's kidnapped. And so that became like the idea was she was kidnapped in Hawaii. And then Sony had done a movie with Bradley Cooper in Hawaii that did not do well. I can't remember what it's called. And so they were like a little over Hawaii at that point. And we kept saying, "Yeah, but it's funny because he goes on vacation with his daughter, she's kidnapped." And they're like, "You just want to go to Hawaii." I'm like, that's not the reason why you did this.
I swear.
This actually makes sense for the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, right.
And so then I was talking to Amy Pascal and she's like, "Well, we're over Hawaii. It's expensive to shoot there. It's hard." And I go, "We could do it in Vegas." She's
There
like,
it
"That would
is.
work."
Yeah.
And so then we couldn't, it was weird. Like, then we had to like adjust, like, why is she kidnapped in Vegas? So then we came up with this art heist thing and thought, oh, there's art in Vegas, right? And so we said, let's, because we knew the Mirage had art in it and the Bellagio had art in it. And by the way, both Steve Wynn hotels. And so never really thought about the Encore and the Wynn. It just seemed so crazy. It seemed so expensive and out of our reach.
Yeah.
And I remember we were going around looking at all these different hotels and Caesars. Kevin Hart had just done a movie at Caesars. So that felt a little played out. And it all felt played out. And then we got a call. I was walking through, we were on a scout in Planet Hollywood. And we're walking through and I got a call from somebody who said, "Hey, Steve Wynn wants to meet you guys."
Ooh.
Oh. So we just walked into the wind. We're like, this is insane. This is perfect. And the reason why was Steve Wynn never wanted movies to shoot in his hotels that had gambling, sex, prostitution, anything like that. And we're like a G-rated comedy.
Fair.
So he goes, "I love this. You guys want to shoot here?" We're like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so he gave us the entire hotel. He said, "You can shoot anywhere, but the hotel has to stay open."
Sure.
And so that we were like, okay. So then we just rewrote it all for the Win.
That is
Wow. Okay, so you said, I know the art heist, once you moved to Vegas, then that plot kind of changed.
Yeah.
Why was the daughter taken when it was in Hawaii?
I can't remember.
Oh, bang.
I think she just saw something happening. I think they were doing some heist, I can't
Oh, it was like
remember, and
wrong
she
place, wrong
saw it
time.
happen. It's kind of the same idea.
Sure.
She saw it happen, and then they kidnapped her, or maybe it was just that the guy kidnapped. I can't remember, but it was the idea was taken
Yeah, still relatively the same.
with
Yeah.
with 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 Paul Blart as
That's
opposed to Liam
awesome.
Neeson.
Okay, so once you guys get to the Win, you officially have like the Win locked down. You're
Yeah,
filming there for like the whole movie.
yeah.
Me and Nick especially are so early into like film stuff and film career. I think the highest budget we've ever worked with is like $500. So walk us through like a project of this scale. How does it come together from like your seat as a producer, like getting the funding, assembling the cast, all that fun stuff to like the actual
Well, the
set?
funding came from Sony, and they said, "Well, if you spend the same amount of money you made spend on the first one, you can go make it." So it's the same budget.
Oh, it
And the
is.
greatest
Okay.
thing about the Win was they just gave us the whole hotel, and didn't charge us location fees.
That's
It's funny.
wild.
One of the knocks on that movie is that it's just a giant commercial for the Win,
Sure.
but it wasn't intended to be. It was just that it just laid out so perfect. We never had to
Yeah.
go anywhere. We're like,
Sure.
everything is here. It's so crazy.
Yeah, might as well.
It was so beautiful. That hotel is
Yeah.
so beautiful. We would sit in there, and there's not an inch of that hotel you look at that's not so friggin' gorgeous. It's just absolutely astoundingly beautiful. So, they said, Sony goes like, go, if you guys can make it for that price, go. So we didn't have any Teamsters because we had no trucks.
Wild.
Oh
It was
yeah.
all in the hotel.
Yeah.
So all of our costumes, makeup, people, and not all the crew stayed at the Win. It was really expensive to stay there,
Well,
but
yeah.
it was like I stayed there, and Kevin stayed there, and the director stayed there. It was walk downstairs and shoot. It was
Just
so
go
crazy.
shoot.
But and then just casting it was fun because Kevin cast a lot of his comedy friends,
That's
and
awesome.
it was fun. And Andy Fickman is a director that I love and I've known for years, and he's done a lot of kid stuff, and kind of really he does a lot of stuff for Disney, and he's really fun, and it was just a really fun time. And it's a different, having spent 10 years at Disney, it's a different mentality to make a movie for kids, because it's a kids,
Sure.
it's a movie for families. We can say it's a family movie, but at the end of the day, you got to understand, like, you guys were probably in your teens when you saw it, right? So it's like you're making a movie that is simple, funny, physical, and it's not pushing a ton of boundaries. And Kevin's also Catholic, so it fits into his
There you go.
morality, and
Sure.
his he likes that. So we just decided we got to have fun. We have to make the
Yeah.
movie fun, and it's got to be fun. And we used every bit of that hotel, and including being on the roof. And it was fun.
No,
See, I know,
definitely. Yeah.
because you just said the Wynn had to stay open while you guys were shooting, because obviously it's like such a massive hotel.
Mm-hmm.
But you have that sequence where there's like the whole like water show in the play,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys fully filmed, and Kevin
Mm-hmm.
James is doing his Paul Blart thing.
Yeah.
Or is that like a real audience? Like, how
Oh,
did you do
yeah. It
that?
was all done. So okay. So yes. Here's the funniest part of that. So we get into the Win, and Steve is like, go. And so everybody's now like, oh, great. We got to like deal with these idiots because Steve wants this movie here. So every place we went was annoyed with us. Nobody wanted us there. None. Nobody. And so the CEO was great. They were all great, but like the person who was assigned to us was this woman. I can't remember her name. She's awesome, and she was like in charge of the operations of the entire Win and Encore.
Sure.
And she said to me, she goes, "Listen to me. We're gonna block this out, and you have that many hours. You don't have a minute longer. Like, you're gonna come in, you're gonna get out." And
Was that
so
strict?
day one was in the valet area, and where Kevin like confronts those guys and does the thing with the Segway. And I remember she's like, and then we had to move to a second location that day. And before we moved out of the valet area, she's like, you have 1 hour. You have an hour left. You're not even close to being done. I go, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna make it. And like she would stand there, and as it nailed down, I go, oh, and cut. All right, moving on. We're going to the next location. She's like, oh my God, you guys did it. And then the next location, we did it. And then so about 3 days in, she's like, you guys got it. I don't have to worry about you anymore, because we knew we couldn't go a minute everywhere we went.
It's so
I would
tight.
just
Yeah.
be meted with when we were at the tables. Those guys would be like, you guys, man, ugh. And then they would deal with us. And then we would leave. In the restaurants, they'd be like, oh, okay, we got to shut
Like, here
down
we
for 8 hours.
go.
Okay. So the Le Rev, that show, they have days off
Okay.
where where they clean and they do maintenance, all of that. So we shot on those days with the performers. They were so psyched to be in the movie.
That's cool.
And yeah, it was really fun. And so yeah, and then we just brought an audience in that wanted to watch a movie being filmed and threw them in there, and Kevin got to do his thing. And you got to get in and out of there. The only place where no one gave a shit was on the roof. They're like,
Yeah.
you guys still up there? We
Yeah,
don't
do your
care.
thing, do your thing.
Right, and
Yeah.
it was great. The weather it was really hot. It never rained. It was
Sure.
it was perfect.
Yeah.
And it was mostly at night, so it was great. But like, it was a challenge. It's a challenge. It was a very big producing challenge because we had to make it work every day. And occasionally, like, there's one thing where Kevin's ripping through the casino on that crazy modified Segway, and we wanted to have a drone follow him.
Okay.
And that's when the CEO showed up because you're not doing that. I go, why? And he goes, you're not doing the drone. I go, why? And he goes, do you see there used to be these red chandeliers in the win, maybe in the win over the tables. They're not there anymore because they're now, I think, either in Macau or Boston, and they were $1 million a piece. And he goes, if you hit one of those, it's $1 million. I go, we will not be flying a drone through this. And so we just pulled it with a sled. But like, it's
so funny.
it's so crazy when you really are dealing with the reality. And the other fun thing was when it was like Kevin had to do a lot of ripping through the casino and that stuff. We did it at 2, 3, 4 in the morning because it was like empty, but
Sure.
drunk people, man. And what was interesting is that there's something about a movie set. We had one time where kids ran through, but that's fine. But like, there's something about a movie set where people have reverence for it. So they, even if they were drunk coming out of excess or any of these things, they would see a movie and be like, whoa, and kind of look for a second and be quiet and then move on.
That's kind of nice.
It was great. It was great. It was a really fun, because we had also, when we shot Mall Cop, also shot in a live mall. We never shut that mall down.
Right.
That mall was open. So we, at night, obviously we would by ourselves, but during the day, all those things with the takeover of that mall's open. And even then, people that were going through the mall were really cool. They would just watch and not say anything and not scream in the middle of our take. It was great.
So I have to ask, just going to Mall Cop 1, because we had this conversation on our episode. So when you're getting like the location permits and the rights to film everything, how does it work with all of the storefronts and the intellectual property, if you will, with all of those individual brands? Do you sign off on that, like on one big thing, and pay everyone, or kind of how does that work?
No, you don't pay them. If you're just driving by something, that's public facing. You can shoot it. You just can't disparage their brand. Like
Sure.
if you were doing a driving scene down a street and you're passing like down Melrose or wherever, and you pass 100 storefronts, you want to get clearance that they know you're going to film, but you're not saying, oh, there's that shitty Nike brand. You're not.
Right.
So as long as we weren't like damaging their store or whatever, it was just going by the store.
Right.
A lot of the stores were empty, sadly, even back then. That mall was struggling even back then. I didn't even know if it's open anymore. And so we had to dress a lot of storefronts.
Oh, there you
And
go.
also the whole thing's dressed like Christmas anyway. So it was,
Right.
we did a lot of set dressing anyway. But like we were just whipping by like the Gap or whatever. You just whipped by it. That was fine. As long as you're not making a point of it. It's like he can't slam into the window of a store or you could, because we got
like
Rainforest
Hallmark.
Cafe.
Rainforest Cafe.
That's what I was going to ask about.
We
next,
went in and got
that's
the
different.
rights. They were super happy to have us shoot in there because it was funny, and we didn't
such a
say
memorable
like anybody.
sequence in my memory.
Yeah, we
so.
didn't say anything about the food or anything. It was just a cool place.
Yeah, no, definitely. So with these two films, taking a look back in the rear view, what were some major lessons learned from these in particular? What do you feel most proud of from these movies?
Look, I'm proud that I got them made.
Oh, yeah.
It's very hard to get movies made. I'm proud that they both did really well financially for the studio. They both made a lot of money for the studio. I'm proud that like kids like you got to watch them and think they were funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have people think they're really funny. There's some really funny moments in both those movies. I love shooting them. They were both great. One was in Boston and one was in Vegas. So I had
Hmm.
the really good experiences with both movies on set. Really fun. Both of them really fun to shoot. Um, it's a character now that lives in the zeitgeist of like
Hmm.
people talk about Paul Blart all the time.
Hell yeah, we
He's
do.
he's a character that lives in the world now. You can't see a mall cop now and not think of Blart.
Right. The segues too.
Um, and then just in terms of like lessons, look, every movie is hard.
Yeah.
It was great to work with Sandler on both those movies. He was a producer
Hmm.
on both those movies. And he's such a friggin' genius. It was amazing. And so and I made a lot of movies with Kevin James. He's a very very talented comedian. He's really a hard worker. He's really smart. So getting to work with my friends was amazing. Um, and just putting some good out into the world. They're both just such nice movies. They're just trying to entertain people.
Hmm.
There's a very famous movie that I live by. If you have never seen it, called Sullivan's Travels. Have you ever seen
Oh
it?
yeah. Oh
No,
yeah.
I know of it. I've never seen it.
So
Yeah.
that movie is sort of my North Star, and I talk about it all the time. It's a Preston Sturges movie, and what's interesting about that movie is that it's about a director who's going through a midlife crisis because he's only makes comedies and he's not taken very seriously in the business, and
Hmm.
he thinks he needs to make something that quote unquote matters, and he wants to make his opus, and he wants to make this movie called Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which interestingly enough is how I got the movie Oh Brother Where Art Thou, because when the Coen brothers came in to pitch me, they told me the movie name, and I go, oh, from Sullivan's Travels. He goes, you're the only person that knew that. So I just love this movie so much. So anyway, he wants to make this movie, so he goes
Wow.
out into the road to try to like live as like a vagabond and have a hard life. And he ends up getting arrested, and he gets on this chain gang. And one night they're dragged, and there's really horrible conditions, and they're dragged out
Hmm.
to this church to watch this movie. And it's a Three Stooges movie, dumb movie. And he looks around, and all these prisoners are laughing their asses off. And he realizes how important his job is, just to give these men relief,
Hmm.
that from their bonds they're like having this moment where they're not chained anymore, they're just laughing and having this, and he realizes that what he does is important too. So anyway, I've based a lot of my career on that there is something to just making people laugh, and seeing both those movies. Mall Cop, when he when Kevin, little things like when Kevin puts the Hello Kitty band-aid on, the audience
Oh
went
yeah.
nuts.
So good.
When Kevin crashes into that window, the audience goes
Hmm.
nuts. When it's revealed that the Bobby Cannavale is the bad guy, they go
Hmm.
nuts. And so seeing those huge laugh moments, and I will say unequivocally, in my career I previewed multiple hundreds of times. I've never had a laugh as hard at once as Kevin when he got kicked by that horse in Mall Cop
Really?
2. It's the whole
It's
audience just goes
such
insane.
a
It's the biggest
funny
reaction.
ending and like so unexpected, but when you see it, oh, it's so good.
It's the
But another,
biggest reaction. It's so dumb and so absurd, but the audience just friggin' laughed their asses off. And so it's
yeah,
like, oh, that's fun. That's
yeah,
hear 400 people laugh at the exact same time at something that's so silly.
that's why
It's
we
really
do what we
fun.
do.
And to
Yeah.
hear, especially like I also made Daddy Daycare, like when and Are We
Mm.
There Yet? And when you make
Hmm.
those movies that you hear kids laughing that hard, it's fun and it's really
Hmm.
rewarding. So
Definitely.
yeah, that's why I do it.
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
got to be like a surreal moment just to
Really
have all
fun.
these people. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, and I was saying to you guys before we started recording, like I just got back from the screening of Mall Cop of Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, we just had a retrospective of Mall Cop. It
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
great.
It's
We, that
I
back
was
was
in
gonna say,
theaters.
it was at
Mall Cop
AFI.
3 on the
Spielberg
way.
introduced it. It was great.
That's perfect.
We were talking about, the symbolism.
Right, right, right.
No, I was just previewing We're just premiering Mortal Kombat 2 at the Man Chinese, and
Hmm.
it's so fun because those big moments when the whole crowd cheers and gasps at the same time, there's nothing like it. It's
Yeah.
it's why theaters are so important, and it's why movies are so important, and it's why that communal experience is so important.
No, definitely.
Well, I gotta ask because I think I would kick myself if I didn't. because we are on this, like, we're so on the same page about what you just said, because especially those two mall cop movies, and we also have nostalgia behind it, to be fair, but
Mhm.
there is such like a beautiful charm and like brightness to it, and you can tell there's so much warmth with everyone that made it.
Mhm.
So they both did well financially. So, is there has there been talks of a Mall Cop 3?
Yeah, I mean, here's what I think. I think that there's been a regime change. I think that I think that comedy is in a different place now.
Sure.
It
True.
it feels like Sandler's kind of doing everything on Netflix and streaming. It would feel like it would be a streaming play if it was going to be. And I know that Sony has a deal with Netflix, so it'll probably be a Netflix thing. But I don't know. But we've all sort of moved so far past it.
Oh,
That's
I
fair.
don't think so. We
That's
had an
fair.
idea. I'll tell you what the idea was.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
The idea of it was that Kevin married that horse officer, the woman police officer that kicks him on the
Yeah.
horse, and they moved to Beverly Hills, and she's like working at Beverly Hills as a cop, and Kevin is going, he's on his Segway as like hired by the Beverly Hills city to kind of greet people. That's what
Okay.
he's, and then there's a big heist. So we would do Beverly Hills Cop with Blart. That was the third one. But we got so far as to like starting to get a script,
Yeah.
and then Amy left and everything changed, and
Yeah.
we all went our separate ways and did different things, and sort of nobody really picked up the mantle. But that was the idea. So you can just imagine it in your mind, Beverly Hills Cop with Blart.
Yeah.
Nick, we got to find a way to finance
I
that
was gonna say we'll
immediately.
somehow make it happen. Going to a final thought here. Obviously, you have Broken Road Productions, and we as young filmmakers are starting our own production company and have kind of been trying to figure out a path forward with that. So, where would you tell young filmmakers starting their own production company to really focus their energy? Because there's a lot to try and figure out when you first get started, and I'm curious your perspective on it, having the career that you have.
Well, the whole business has changed. So
Sure.
for the better and worse for young filmmakers, if you if you are attempting to go the way of the past, which is I'll say the more traditional route, which is like come to Hollywood and write a script and sell it and get it financed and go to a festival and be discovered like Steven Soderbergh, that's probably not the route that you want to take given the way technology has increased and gotten more affordable and easy to make shit, really.
Mm,
And so that's why a lot of young filmmakers now are just becoming content creators, whether they're doing shorts or
sure.
doing their own content and putting it up on YouTube and monetizing that way. But if you want to make a feature film, um, the trick is to just go make it. I know that sounds really pedantic and silly, but like, have you ever read Robert Rodriguez's book, Rebel Without a something, Re, Rebel Without a film, whatever. It's Robert Rodriguez's book about
Mm,
making his first movie,
okay.
and
Rebel
it's
Without a Crew.
Rebel Without a
Mm,
There
Crew.
you go.
And so read it. If you're a young filmmaker, you need to read this book because he made that movie El Mariachi for $5,000.
That's
yes.
it?
Yeah. So here's how he did it. He went, okay, I'm going to get a camera. I'm going to get film stock heat. And this was on film, which is
Sure.
even harder.
Yeah.
You can shoot a movie on an iPhone 16 now that looks way better than 16 millimeter, even 35 millimeter did 10, 15 years ago.
Sure.
And you can edit it on your computer. But what he said was, okay, I want to make a movie. What do I have? Well, I've got a guy and I've got a guitar case, and I got some guns, and my friend has a junkyard, and I've got this thing, and I've got this town. And he just took inventory of everything he had, prop wise, location wise, and he wrote a movie about using all of those
Yeah, he just
things
worked around it.
and wrote El Mariachi and shot it for $5 grand, and then edited it and then put it like put it out and nobody wanted it and they couldn't find a place. And then finally somebody saw it and then boom, it becomes El Mariachi and becomes this massive thing. And he's now Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
That is more true than ever. So first of all, read that book. Do not pass go. Read that book. And then secondarily, look around at what you have. Okay, I have an iPhone. I've got a Final Draft. I've got this editing program. I've got you two guys, and I got these friends. My friend has this person wants to do costumes. I got all these people. Then we'll look around me. What do I have? Well, I live in Florida. So I've got golf courses, I got this house, I got my friend who has this crazy weird car, I've got this friend who works at this restaurant so we can shoot at night, and just take inventory of all the things you have at your disposal and then write a movie around it. Like that speaks to you, it speaks to your audience, speaks to what you want to see. And then go make it, because there's nothing that's going to convince anybody that you're any good without seeing that you're good. You can talk about it all day long, but until you show somebody something, and you can really do a lot with very little now.
Sure.
And so just go make it, because your talent isn't going to be how much you production value you have or how many explosions you could do. Your talent is going to be measured by your pacing, your structure, the entertainment of it, how well you direct your actors, how well the thing fits as a cohesive storytelling, and is it entertaining, and does it deliver on its premise. That's what storytelling is. And if you can tell a great story, then people will find you, because you can also it used to be also you had to go to film festivals or find an agent to get. You can put it up on the internet right now. There's a friend of mine named Luke who did a short film about his mother's passing, put it on X, and he got like 2 million views, and like a lot of people saw it.
Wow.
And it was so touching and so easy to make. It was just him acting in the back of a truck, and it was really, really powerful. And so you can find an audience now on YouTube. So you could go make a feature for nothing and put it up, and people will find it.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling incredibly inspired by that, because I feel like that's the approach that Matthew and I have taken very recently, of like, write what you have. Because similar to what you said, like it's hard to find financing, and it's hard to find locations and props and costumes and all that. But going forward with the things that you have at your disposal, I think is definitely really, really incredible advice, and something that I will definitely take going forward. So as we kind of close out this interview, I just want to say thank you so much for being on
this
the
was
show.
amazing. Thank you so much.
And for
My
all of your
pleasure.
advice and all of your stories, and taking the time out of your day to come join us. I know you also have a podcast as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Well,
you want
that's
to
the
talk
other thing.
about
If
that
you
a little
wanna-
bit.
Yeah, look, if you want to be a producer, listen to my podcast. I have like 140 episodes of just me talking to every single good producer in Hollywood about producing and about making stuff. And I'm just like what we talked about today. How did they get started? What was their aspirations? How do you get shit made in this ecosystem? What inspired them? So it's called The Producer's Guide. It's on everything. And you can start with Adam Sandler, because that was my first episode. So you just
Incredible.
kind of get
Great
in.
start.
It's a great start. And then just pop around. If you just look at these people's IMDb. If you want to make big action movies, listen to Neil Moritz or listen to Lorenzo Di Bonaventura. If you want to make independent movies, I've listened to Stacey Sher. I've interviewed everybody. There's something for everybody. I interviewed Jason Blum if you're into horror. Like,
Oh, no way.
That's incredible.
I've interviewed Kristen Burr if you want to make Disney IP. I've interviewed the producer of Moana. I mean, everybody. So, and so if anyone that you feel will inspire you, take a listen, and hopefully it'll inspire you and give you some real practical advice of how to do it.
Amazing.
And go
But
watch
yes,
Mortal Kombat 2.
watch Mortal Kombat 2. Paul
Thank
Blart
you.
2 is on Netflix. Go check that out. And all the other films from
There's
Todd.
no better double feature than Mortal Kombat 2
Exactly.
and Paul
Right?
Blart.
Come on. There's
You'll
no
see
topping that.
You'll see the similarities of my filmmaking oeuvre.
Amazing. Well, yes. Thank you again, Todd. And
My pleasure.
now back to the show.
Thank you again to Todd Garner. That was one of my favorite things about doing summer sequels is getting people like this that worked on the movies and kind of getting like one insight into just like hopefully what our future looks like, but two, also just hearing like production of these movies. Like it's just, we watched them as kids, and now to actually talk to someone on the set, it was like it's always such a cool experience. So Todd, thank you for being on the show. Seriously, that was awesome.
And yes, his advice to young filmmakers really like has me inspired. And I just want to go out and make a freaking feature.
I know, I want to go write a feature now.
I want to go like literally like just write down every prop that I and all my friends have, and all the locations and like everything that we possibly could get, and just make a freaking movie. So that was very inspiring. And yes, check out his podcast. I'm very excited to check it out myself. So,
well, I will say, like, okay, it's fun. When he said that, and I wasn't going to tell him this because I'm like, I don't want to waste his time. He probably doesn't care that much. But like, he was like, hey, just write with like what you have. I'm like, that's fucking insane that he just said that. Because me and you have had meetings where we've talked about like, hey, I'm writing a new short. We're trying to film it this year. You know, we want to do like 3 shorts in 2026. Almost forgot what year it was there. We want to do 3 shorts in 2026. We have 2 done, and I'm writing the 3rd one. But my goal of this one was, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to write what I have access to.
Sure.
And that's exactly what he was like, just go do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
Extremely reassuring, especially because of the career he has now and his understanding of the industry. And that was like super empowering. So it's like, yeah, we could go make a movie for next to nothing. And now I want to get that book from our boy.
Oh, I have it up on Amazon already.
Dude, I was so excited when he started talking about it. I was like, that's our guy.
Dude, that's like one of our white whales is Robert Rodriguez.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely going to check that out. And I am just so incredibly inspired. So happy to have him on the show. But now let's talk about the plot of Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Man,
this is going to be real interesting.
This is going to
be
a top
as
one.
you said, a lot of it is bits. So
Yeah.
Again, like, and as we talked about with Todd, a lot of it was, hey, we have like a very, loose premise for a story that we're going to do in Hawaii. And obviously they kind of fit it to where we could do it in Vegas for not as much money, which is great from a producing standpoint. It's fantastic. But then like writing down the plot, and I struggle with this sometimes. It's like, all right, what do I include? Like you have the base storyline, but then outside of that, it's like there's not a ton that I can write. So let's see how I do here.
Okay, I wish you luck, because a lot of it is just like bit after bit after bit, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, there's an art heist, and then they'll go back to bits.
And now while I won't probably say a lot of the bits, I have to give, again, just more credit of like the bits were genuinely pretty funny, some of them. So hats off to the team, hats off to Kevin and Todd as well for making it all happen. So we open with Paul's wedding with Amy from the end of the first movie. So the love interest there, giving us a bit of catch up, and then immediately leads to a divorce.
6
She
days.
had regrets within the relationship. It broke my heart. And also I was like, did they just not get her back for the movie?
Right.
Like, what was going on? It seemed like they just wrote her off of it.
I know.
Like,
we almost should have asked, because I'm convinced that there was like a draft of this where she was in it.
Oh yeah.
And then they just couldn't get her. Like, I don't know what happened, but I'm like, why?
Yeah. I'm so curious. But yeah, so they like immediately write her off of the movie, and she is gone. So we learn that Paul still works at the mall and does a fantastic job at keeping things safe and under control. We also find out that his mom gets, and I quote, drilled by a milk truck.
Yep.
And
correct.
dies.
Yeah.
So she's also no longer in the movie, potentially written off. And he gets invited to this award ceremony after we learn about all this grief in his life in Vegas, conveniently enough, for his duties at the mall. And his daughter gets accepted into UCLA, which she doesn't tell her dad because she's worried that he's not going to be supportive of it, which we later find out that he is not.
No.
So they arrive in Vegas, and Paul has a bit of trouble checking in, even though he thinks he is delivering the keynote speech at the security event that night. And he's very full of himself. He's real excited. He's like, don't you know who I am? I'm the guy. I'm here to do my thing. So he thinks he's a bit of a celebrity. And when he does have trouble checking in, he's like, oh, they have no idea. They don't. I have no idea.
Now, okay, this is a tough one.
Okay.
Because I remember, again, watching this in middle school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being like, oh my God, Vegas looks sick. And then like a year later being like, wait a minute, was I just advertised to? Is that what just happened there? And then watching it again, I was like, okay, like I'm having a good time with this. There's even if some of the jokes don't work for me, like there's so much charm to this. But I was like, is this an ad? Is this just an ad for the win? Like I kept going back and forth on it because I'm like, well, the story structurally, there's so much that wouldn't work if they didn't shoot at the win. So like, what came first? It's like a chicken and egg situation. I'm like, I don't know how this movie was made.
Sure.
And now that we've talked to Todd, I'm like, oh, a lot of people assumed, and also me at a very young age, that like they made this movie as just like a giant commercial for the Wynn Resort in Las Vegas. But now we know that's not the case. So I'm in a tough spot because most of my notes are just writing down beautiful things from the Wynn. I put like, oh, they have free valet and they have great food, and I just want to go to the Wynn. But like, I don't want to be like
beautiful rooms.
I know
suites,
it's like
gorgeous.
stunning. I was also like just in Vegas, and I'm like, man, I should have stayed at the Wynn, dude.
Well, so now, because I've never been.
Oh, we have to go.
So the first time I'm gonna go, we're gonna do Horror Unleashed for Universal. Oh, there you go. Perfect. He's wearing a Horror Unleashed shirt.
I was kind of hoping he would say something.
Is there anything on the back of that?
Yeah, hang on.
Let me see it.
Sick as hell.
Oh my god. That is pretty sick.
Right?
So I'll go to Horror Unleashed and stay at the Wynn and get like a 2-for-1.
You get the full Blart experience, dude.
We gotta watch like more Vegas movies so I can like create an itinerary just around the show.
Okay, deal. We'll do like Ocean's 11, then Paul Blart.
Yeah.
But like most of this movie was just like, man, I really want to go to the Wynn.
Yeah.
And then maybe it's because we haven't like recorded in a while, but I was sitting here and we're about to hit start, and I'm like, oh, I usually have like commentary for these. I usually have things I want to say. But for this one, I just want to be like, the Wynn is gorgeous.
I was gonna say, you let me get through 7 lines of
I know.
plot. Usually I get stopped after the first one.
I know.
And you just let me ride, so you know what? I'll take it.
Well, you said the valet. I'm like, oh, they have free valet, and just what a great place. And I just, I don't want to come across like a corporate shill, but like, the whole movie, I'm like, wow, this place does look really nice.
It's pretty good.
I can't help it. I'm like, that food looks fucking delicious, dude. Like coming from a peanut butter and jelly and a Celsius not an hour ago, I'm like, damn, dude, that looks so good.
They're living the high life. Well, you know what? It's the security convention, so I don't blame them.
Dude, it turns out security guards are like high rollers, dude.
Exactly.
They stay at like the luxury suites at the Wynn.
Excuse me. Especially Paul Blart, because he's a Mr. Security guy.
Well, of course.
So Maya flirts with the valet guy, and I'm gonna call him the valet guy for the rest of the movie because I don't remember his name.
Well, isn't he just the Waverly Place guy?
I was gonna say, Maddie and Sam immediately like both gasped when he came on the screen, and it was like, "Oh, we got 2 Disney people," and I was like, "I forget who this guy is."
Wait, there's 2?
The daughter isn't.
What is she in?
Isn't she in Austin and Ally? Is that Disney?
Oh, if it is, I've never watched it.
That is Disney Channel, and she is one of the 4.
Oh.
Rainey Rodriguez, yeah. That's because that's where I knew her from originally. And yeah, it's Ross Lynch, Laura Marano,
no shit,
Kaylin Worthy, and Rainey Rodriguez. Yeah, I used to love the show growing up. So I was like, I knew her, and then I recognized him. I never really watched Wizards of Waverly Place, but I recognized him like from Disney Channel. He's been in a lot of stuff. So I was like, oh, we got 2 of them. We got Kevin James. Like I was like, oh, it's my childhood.
Dude, this is like your sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, it's so rare on this show where we watch a movie, and I'm like, hey, even if this isn't like the greatest film ever created, I'm having such a good time from like nostalgia, and it's just goofy. This might be like one of the only times it's happened. And it was for Paul Blart. I went in ready to like destroy this thing.
I was so worried. We were going to talk to the guy
who
produced it. We're going to rip it apart. I'd feel so bad.
And then he was never going to talk to us again.
Yeah. Genuinely, I was like, I was making fun of it a little while watching it, but it was like all in good fun. I was like, yeah,
that's
like,
the
there's
thing.
some things I'm like, whatever.
Like,
but oh man, it was a fun time.
Like usually you go over plot, and I'm like, this is stupid. But you're going over plot, and I'm just like, oh, what a good time.
Yeah, we should go to the Wynn.
I'm just reminiscing. Let's go to Vegas, dude. Yeah. Let's go to the Sphere.
For sure. So, yes, she's flirting with the valet guy, and Paul gets info that his room was upgraded. And we see that the villain of the story, Mr. Sofel Vincent, that's his name, arrives at the same hotel.
Dude, I love this guy.
The actor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal with this actor. Because I think like he kind of got nailed.
Okay.
Not like an alligator. No. I don't want to spread that. It was like what's his name? The mummy guy. Brendan Fraser.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the Brendan Fraser thing where I think this actor, he's married and he had a rule where he's like, hey, just when it comes to making movies, I just don't really want to like kiss other people. He's like, I get it if it's a character thing, but like I just don't personally feel comfortable with it. I'm married very happily. I just would rather not cross that line. And I think because he did that, he's been very vocal about like so many roles they just refuse to cast him in. Because they think he's just like difficult. He won't do anything. But he's just like, it's a boundary I have. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair.
It's like,
That's
one, I
completely
respect
fair.
the fuck out of this guy.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And two, he always plays villains. Like he was in like Legends of Tomorrow and he was the villain for a couple seasons there. But Nick,
Yeah.
he was in
Justified.
season 3 of Justified,
Jesus
baby.
Christ.
And he is so
Of course.
fucking good.
Of course he's in Justified.
He plays Robert Quarles, and he is the
Dude.
fucking one of the coolest villains in the history of that show.
Everyone's career trajectory on this show is literally they do a movie that made an impact us on during our childhood, and then just goes to Justified.
They go right to Justified.
That's it.
That's the pipeline. It's like you do
It is the
a Blart,
pipeline.
and then you do Justified.
Yeah, exactly. Which I kind of love for them. Go off.
Dude, he's so and the whole
incredible.
movie I'm watching him, and I know it isn't true, but I'm like, I'm just gonna assume this is canon to Justified, and this happens directly after season 3.
But wouldn't that be fun if it was like all the movies that they did, the Justified people outside of Justified, especially the movies that we've covered on the show, is canon to that.
All of it.
How much that would change the like lore when you're watching Justified.
Well, does that okay? Wait a minute. Does that mean like Rango is canon to Justified because like Timothy Olyphant is a voice? Mm-hmm. Does that also mean like Star Wars is?
I guess.
Timothy Olyphant's in The Mandalorian. Don't forget, end of the Book of Boba Fett, dude.
Okay, all right. So then that's like their past leading up to Justified.
And if you think about it, Walton Goggins was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So that means in the
Perfect,
Justified
don't remember
universe. To be fair, not many people do. I just love Walton Goggins. But that means in the Justified universe, Marvel and Star Wars is canon.
Shoot.
That makes it like kind of the coolest universe ever.
Yeah,
and Paul
that's-
Bart's
that's-
canon, so that's all you
pretty
need.
sick. It's the Holy Trinity.
You have the 3 big franchises: Blart,
what I'm
Marvel, and
saying.
Star Wars.
Dude, you can't beat it.
You can't beat it, dude. That's what they call in the industry the Holy Trinity.
Yeah. I'll
When you go to
sure
pitch a
look out
movie.
for Walton Goggins when I do my big Marvel rewatch, which we're totally doing, by the way. We have to do that.
Yeah,
with each
we have
other
to
and
start
keep
doing that.
each other accountable.
Well, we have
probably,
to. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a question for people listening. Is me and Nick want to do like a big MCU rewatch for Doomsday coming out in December?
Right. Because as we're recording, it's April 30th. Doomsday comes out December of this year.
And it's kind of like late December, so we have time.
Yeah.
So obviously, like phase 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5 included. And then if you're gonna go like all the way, you would do like the MCU shows as well, like
Which is what I'm
WandaVision.
including.
Yeah, I think we should, right?
Spider-Man, X-Men.
That's the question. Is original X-Men you have to include?
Yes.
But one, from X-Men First Class on, does that count? And two, do you do Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man, or do you save those before like Secret Wars? Because if I was a betting man, like, do I think Doomsday is going to be a cameo fest? No, I think they're saving that for Secret Wars.
Yeah, I think I agree.
So I don't know if do we do the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans? Do we do First Class, Apocalypse, all that stuff?
I think so.
You do?
But I also don't even know if we're going to have enough time.
Well, because there's so much.
Genuinely, for all between this show, our personal lives, and like just other film endeavors, going to the theaters, all of that stuff.
True.
I don't even know. Like I was doing the math. This was like a week ago. And I was like, I'm going to have to watch one every other day until December.
Just
From
because
now.
of the shows.
That's insane. Yeah. But obviously the shows, some of them are 30 minutes in episodes. So you can knock them out relatively quickly.
easy.
So what I'm doing right now, I don't know if you know this, but also for the audience, is I'm watching the animated shows first, just because they don't they tie in a little bit, but not exactly. So
like
I just
Marvel
finished,
Zombies and stuff.
Yeah, I just finished What If, and then
Hey.
now I'm doing Eyes of Wakanda, and then I'm gonna do Marvel Zombies, and then I'm gonna start with Iron Man. So when I start with Iron Man, then I'll let you know, because Maddie's also rewatching with me.
Oh, cool,
and also,
cool.
previous guests on this show, Fallon, just reached out because I told her about it. She was like, I want to maybe do that with you guys as well. And then maybe we could talk about it, keep them.
Yeah, we'll do like a group
keep each
chat.
other accountable. Although she did say, she was like, a few of them I don't want to watch because they're torturously bad. So I was like, that's fine.
That is
You
not
can-
true.
You can do that. But yes, I will keep everyone updated on this show who is at all curious.
But it is a genuine question of like, what do you include?
Right. I think the Spider-Man movies, yes. I think the OG X-Men, yes.
Yeah.
The sequels to X-Men, I don't think so.
So like X-Men 1, 2, and 3, and then probably stop?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's what I'll probably end up doing. And then the Spider-Man movies, just because I like them. Like, and I haven't seen them in a while. I feel like that's just...
Fair. Are we including Andrew? Like Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Oh, okay. You're not just doing Sam Raimi?
No.
Okay.
I would do both because they show up in the new Spider-Man.
Now, I hate to tell you, but like, if we're trying to watch all the Marvel stuff, technically Howard the Duck is Marvel.
Yeah, but like in the MCU, we get the gist. And also, we just watched that movie, so I'm going to count it.
No, we should watch it again.
I'm never watching it.
What if we just watched it every other day and didn't do any of the other MCU stuff?
No Iron Man, just Howard the Duck.
No, it's just Howard the Duck every other day.
I love that. I think that's perfect. I think we could totally do that, no problem. It wouldn't drive me insane.
No. Though, I don't know if you caught it. Did you, at the end of Paul Blart 2, did you see the end credit scene? Will return. Doomsday.
I thought you were being serious. No. I was like, man, did I miss a cool end credit scene? Yeah, he will return. Maya will return.
A little portal opens and a Segway comes out, and you're like, no way!
On your right.
It's just like the wind.
Yeah. You see the wind through the portal?
Yeah. It's just a full Vegas strip.
I love it. He has a Horror Unleashed shirt.
Yeah, he's just wearing my shirt.
Yeah. But it has the little badge on it.
Oh, wait, of course.
Of course. Protect and serve, baby. All right, so Paul finds out that he is not giving the keynote speech and is defeated, but goes to the convention anyways to check out all the latest in security equipment.
No, by the way,
like this whole... Yeah, go.
Yeah, okay. Because one, I do like all the security equipment room convention because it's just like Chekhov's convention. Like
sure. It almost felt to me like the little convention that we went to right before the Run Disney thing, where they were like all the vendors that were selling all the things that had to do with the run, like all the gels and the shoes and all that stuff. It was very much like setup room. Yeah.
You're like, okay, everything we see in this room is gonna come back.
Right.
And it everything did.
Yeah.
And then it's okay from this point on, because they're like, he's not doing the keynote speech, and then so many characters in this movie like make fun of him and look down on him. And I'm like, the story of the first movie seems like it's pretty well known in this security world.
Yes, everyone knows it.
Everyone knows it. So I feel like if he walked into a room, you'd be like, that's the fucking Die Hard guy. Like,
yeah, 1,000%. Especially because like, how many of the other people that are making fun of him have done anything remotely close to what he's doing?
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
Like he's crazy. Like, do you remember the end of that movie? They chased down like a fucking private airplane. Like, this guy's a hero.
Yeah. He was he was getting shot at the whole movie.
The whole movie.
Genuinely, he was trying to be people were trying to assassinate him.
Yes. Like,
and they're like, "Nah, you suck, dude."
That's why he shows up and people are like, "What a loser." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, what? Okay, even if you work at the Wynn, which like, sure, on paper, working at the Wynn as a security guard is probably way harder than working at like just a rinky-dink mall where there's not a lot of people shopping anymore. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to genuinely. I'm not like putting disrespect on people who do that job. I think both are probably very difficult. But still, if you are like the top of the fucking game in the security world, this guy comes in, you're like, I gotta buy you a drink. We gotta fucking talk about what you did, dude.
At least like a tequila soda.
Yeah, something. Buy him a fucking Diet Pepsi. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, the fact people were making fun of him, like, what is going on?
Yeah.
There's no way. This man's a national treasure.
Especially at a convention where it's like supposed to be your peers.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine going to like a film festival with like Spielberg, like young Spielberg, and being like, you made Jaws, but like you fucking suck.
Fucking loser. It's like if we met Usman in real life.
Yeah.
We're like, dude.
Oh, you made The Glass Worker? Nah, you actually suck ass.
It took you 10 years? Fucking idiot.
No, you would just get on your hands and knees and be like, please teach me your ways.
Which is what we did.
Exactly.
That guy fucking rocks.
Yeah, he's amazing. Shout out Usman. But yes. So, and also I just gotta mention it now because it comes up later in the movie.
The marbles?
The beanbag gun.
Oh, yeah.
I want that thing more than like the hot cocoa in freaking Polar Express.
I don't trust you with it.
No, you shouldn't. But
You're
like,
so
it's-
evil with it. Like, if you had a beanbag gun, you would never see me in person ever again. I'm not coming to Florida. You're not welcome here.
It's somehow
done.
find a way to ship it to Nicole and be like, use it when we're recording Greenlit so he doesn't see it
Okay.
coming.
People listening, if I this is how you know if Nick ever actually gets the beanbag gun. If there's a full like couple episodes where I'm not making fun of Nick and I'm just singing his praises, just know it's because he has a loaded beanbag gun.
Right. Pointed directly at your head.
Yeah.
But because we don't film, you don't see Nicole in the background with sunglasses
Yeah, we
on
don't film this.
and a
No
black
one knows.
jacket on.
Also, if we start filming these, does that mean I have to start wearing pants?
Not necessarily.
Because it might still be waist up, right?
Waist up, yeah.
Yeah, for people who don't know,
just
I'm
gotta make
always
sure,
in
like,
underwear for this shit. I refuse to wear pants for Greenlit.
Glad you're airing out your dirty laundry, literally.
Only if we have a guest. Like when Todd was on, I'm not going around half nude being like, "How did you shoot it to win?"
All right. I don't know if I trust
No,
that, but-
don't tell him that. Shut up.
Okay, so Paul runs into the head of security at the Wynn, who I think is evil, or maybe not.
I think he's just like a dick.
Yeah,
But
he-
I mean,
he
they end up
belittles
having a
Paul.
nice moment at the end.
Yes,
but
yes. But he belittles Paul for seemingly no reason, like you said. Like they kind of just flame him for nothing.
Yeah, it's so weird.
So he comes back to the hotel to see that Maya is gone and calls security. She is out flirting with Mr. Valet. for Disney Channel
Mr.
Day.
Waverly Place. Yeah.
Mr. Place.
Mr. Place.
Paul and Maya fight at dinner because Paul is too overprotective, and he finds out about UCLA and is, a little bit heartbroken. From like a parenting perspective, I understand where, not that I'm a parent, but I understand where he's coming from. Of like, I've had a lot of loss with, the divorce and with my mother dying and all this stuff, and I get having his only daughter, kind of, he wants her to stick around, but I also get from, her side that she wants to break free and kind of, spread her wings and get out into the world. So it's a tough situation, and I think they do a pretty good job at like showcasing that from both sides.
This was also where like for one of the first times ever, I had to literally cross out a note that I took for the movie, because when the movie first started and they were like, yeah, she divorced him in 6 days, and I think they said like she had like buyer's remorse or some shit. Yeah. But at first I was like, okay, that's like one kind of a funny line, but I was like, why? That feels like it just so undermines the first movie. I'm like, oh, that sucks, man. Come on. And also, like, we had the daughter in the first movie and we got to see that dynamic. I was like, I would like to see a dynamic with him, daughter, and like a wife. And they both love each other. Like, they don't just see each other as a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where, like, most
right.
characters do see Paul Blart as a joke. But when it got to this scene, I was like, oh, that's why they did it. Because if Paul Blart had an issue with her going to UCLA and he didn't go through a divorce and his mom dying, he would kind of just be like, not like a dick, but you're like, oh, that's not cool.
You wouldn't feel for him from his side as much as you do, which I think is good that they set that up. Again, the setup is a little strange that they just like shoot us in the heart twice in the first 30 seconds of the movie,
First big minute, yeah.
But yes, it is. Ultimately, it is like you need that setup for that to pay off, which I think was
Yeah, like I get it's almost like not to go back to Star Wars for a second, but I'm in the middle of watching The Mandalorian, so fuck it. But it's very much like a Last Jedi kind of thing, where it's like they made Luke like kind of the old hermit curmudgeon on the island, and I'm like, ah. But then I watched the movie, I'm like, all right, like I get why you did it.
I get why you had to do
It still makes me sad because he was so happy.
Right.
But like it works. Like listen. The plot to this movie, sometimes there isn't one. They just do bits. And most of the time, the character of Paul Blart's just a joke.
Yep.
Like, intentionally. Like, I'm not trying to rag on the movie. Like, intentionally, he's just a joke. But I do think the stuff with him and his daughter, you can tell there's, like, a genuine chemistry between those two actors. And they seem like they genuinely are having a good time and they care about it. And it shows, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's probably the strongest stuff in this.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah, even if it's very surface level, like, I don't want you to go, oh, but it's college. And, like, you know exactly where it's going. It's very predictable.
For sure.
But, like, it's sweet. It gets the job done. It's nice.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a nice, like, heartfelt undertone, like, side plot
Yeah.
to the rest of this, where as we continue with the plot, the bad guys start stealing art pieces. So they go on this, like, rampage stealing art. around the win and end with a Van Gogh piece. So that's their like final kind of key to the puzzle here. So Paul's informed that he is actually delivering the keynote after the original guy gets too drunk and tries to call Maya to attend, but she is out at a party with Mr. Valet.
You know
Mr.
what?
Place.
The original guy that was going to do the keynote, what the fuck did he accomplish, okay?
No, he's just like Nicky Flippers from freaking New York City.
I understand that reference.
Hoodwinked.
Oh, thank you.
I just think the name is funny, but it's not at all the same, but I just think it's funny.
But did he save a fucking Rainforest Cafe? No.
No shot.
Okay, I don't think so.
Come on now. With the slick, like, all black uniform. Come on.
Dude, it was badass.
Killer. It's killer.
He should have been the keynote speaker. It's
From
bizarre
the
that he
beginning,
wasn't.
It's ridiculous that he's not.
Fucked up.
He gets into a fight with a bird just before delivering the keynote, then begins his speech. And Maya gets a voicemail to attend, and she starts to find the location of the speech, but runs into the bad guys with guns drawn. I think she's just like in the, I don't know. I don't even know how she comes across them. She just like stumbles across their room or something.
Yeah.
But I don't really know like how she got there, because it seems like they're in a room that you have to like be intentional about walking into with the presidential suite.
That's kind of how a lot of this movie works with it just happens.
It just happens. Yeah, it does.
It just goes with it.
You know, it's all good. But I was like, oh yeah, she just stumbles across it. So Paul absolutely slaughters his speech. He crushes. He gets a standing O. And he gets on the phone with Vincent, which is the main villain, before passing out from his blood sugar. He's like, oh God, my daughter's captured. And here we go again. I'm going to have to save the world. So Mr. Valet helps Maya escape. And the concierge lady flirts with Paul Blart and informs him who is actually in the presidential suite, which helps him figure out where he needs to go next to save Maya.
Well, dude, she doesn't just flirt with him. She's like in love with him.
Well, initially it's like a little bit of a flirt. She's like, I can't say no to you.
Well, dude, that's the okay. I'm
taken from hardcore.
I'm fucking taken from Paul Blart's handbook. Okay, his fucking his player book, because this fucking dude, this girl has no interest in him when she first meets him.
Right.
She's dating someone else. She's like a model, and then Paul Blart is just so insistent that she's in love with him that it works.
I gotta be honest. I don't know if that's the takeaway you should have from this
No,
movie.
I'm gonna try it.
I don't think. If we ask Todd if that's I don't think that's what he would say.
Just know the next time like I go to class or something and I see like a beautiful woman, I'm doing the Blart.
No,
that's what we're gonna call it. Dude,
you're in love with me. I feel like that's harassment.
No,
you
gotta
can't do that.
You gotta Blart her, dude.
No.
You gotta Blart the shit out of her.
All right, just so you know, if you get taken down by the cops for this, it is on the record that I am violently against this approach.
I want it on the record that Nick might be against it, but fucking Kevin James is in my corner, dude. That's all I know.
We got to get him on the pod to see if he agrees.
We'll get him.
So Paul goes to the shipping department where he finds the stolen art. And now the bad guys are out to kill him. Again, he's just like, they're out to murder him.
Well, also, okay, they're out to murder him, but no offense to Paul Blart, I would also probably want to murder him, especially if I had just gone against U.S. Deputy Marshal Raylan Givens in Kentucky. I'm like, dude, if I can take on Raylan Givens, I can take on Paul Blart, okay?
That's fair. That is very fair.
Can we, first of all, you got to watch Justified. What are we doing?
I guess.
How have you not? We've been friends for so long.
It's one of those things where, like, the more people recommend something to me, the less I want to watch it.
Okay, I kind of the same thing.
Like, it has to, dude, like, that's why I haven't really gotten to, like, The Godfather, because I'm like, oh. Like, I know I should, and I definitely will, especially when I own it on 4K, which will happen eventually.
Shocker. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm like,
can I?
Like, that's why I didn't watch Game of Thrones for, like, forever, especially when it was, like, huge. Because everyone's like, you gotta watch it, It's so good, it's so good. And I was like, I know it will be, but, like, that part of my brain that's like, nah, I'm too cool for that. It's like, dude, I'm just,
no,
it won't let me.
I have the same problem, and that's why I've never watched Game of Thrones, and I have never watched The Last of Us.
Yeah, never seen that either.
Because when that first season hit, everyone's like, it's the fucking best thing ever, you gotta watch it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't know why, though. I just have this negative reaction to it.
Something to it. It's very strange.
Though, can I just put something out into the world?
Okay.
I feel like I'm definitely going to regret it because I'm about to lose so much street cred.
Oh, good.
Not that I have any to begin with, but I'm about to lose all my street cred because as you know, I love Marvel and Star Wars, and I'm a Disney shill, and I don't like The Godfather.
I mean,
I think it's so
everyone's
fucking boring.
To be fair, I've only seen the first half of the first movie, so if that says anything,
Did you turn it off?
maybe it is a little bit boring. Yeah.
It's fucking boring.
But I don't know. I haven't given it its fair shot because I've only seen it in shitty quality. I haven't seen it on a 4K Steelbook yet, so I don't know.
Once you own it, you're gonna love it. That's how it works.
That is how it works. I've also told Maddie, as I'm beginning this endeavor in like a year, even though I'm talking about it now, I told her, I was like, every movie that I purchase on it, you have to watch with me. So we have to like, even if I've seen the movie 1,000 times, we have to just like watch that rendition of it.
Oh, 100%.
So and I told her, I was like, your reward for dealing with my bullshit in this endeavor is I will buy, because her favorite movies of all time are The Hunger Games. So I told her I will buy the entirety of the Hunger Games collection, including the new movie that's about to come out. I will buy on 4K Steelbook or the equivalent Blu-ray, whatever the highest quality is. I will purchase that for you, and we will watch all of them in order at your discretion, like in that
pretty
quality,
good deal.
If you allow me to just like geek out and get all these movies. She was like,
Did you say yes?
Yeah, she was like, okay.
Hell yeah. Well, you know what happened the other day is there was like a big sale at Barnes & Noble, and it was like a Criterion. I guess Barnes & Noble has like an annual Criterion, like 50% off thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I found this out from my old roommate who showed me Miyazaki movies. The
Oh,
guy
no way.
From sophomore year, or freshman year, second half.
It's like a famous sale.
Yeah, we went to the Barnes & Noble at the mall in Boston.
Oh, no
and
shit.
He took me, and this was before I was like, I can't spend that much money. I should have fucking taken advantage of it.
So you fucked up. See, I took fucking advantage of it.
Yeah.
And I think I got like All of Us Strangers on Criterion, which was a good one. And then I wanted to get Pan's Labyrinth, but they didn't have it. And then I got Barry Lyndon.
So are these Criterion's steelbooks, or are they just like the Criterion
They're not steelbooks, but they're
collection
4K.
version? Okay.
Yeah, though I don't. Pan's Labyrinth is in 4K, but the Criterion one isn't 4K. Like, it's Blu-ray. But the artwork is so fucking sick.
Yeah,
and it's Criterion,
sick.
so I'm like, fuck it.
Well, that's my thing. Is like it's either has to be steelbook if it's offered, right? Steelbook is number one. If they don't have that, 4K UHD by itself.
Yeah.
And then Blu-ray is 3, and then anything else is after.
Anything
like
else.
the priority. But then like Thunderstruck, you're never gonna find.
No.
Because I told you I want to get the whole back catalog.
The whole Greenlit catalog.
But you're never like so many of those. I know I'm just gonna get on DVD, and if that, who knows if it's even still in circulation.
That's true, especially for Thunderstruck.
Yeah.
But right now, my thing is only like Steelbooks and Criterion. And it's also gonna be like Steelbooks 4K. I don't think I have any Steelbooks Blu-ray, but I'm not sure if I'd ever do just a regular 4K or a regular Blu-ray.
Okay.
Like I have a couple just because like I bought them years ago, like Steve Jobs and like Frank with Michael Fassbender. Those don't exist in 4K, so you can only get them as Blu-ray. So like I have those, but like they bother me.
Yeah, well, and this is the whole thing of people's like collections being upgraded as like movies get released in cooler formats. I'm like so in, even though I don't have the money to be in right now.
I don't either.
But a side tangent, and then we'll get back to the plot. But when I was working at the Tonight Show, they had this bin that was right next to all the interns, and basically every time Jimmy got like memorabilia, like merch from any of the guests, and he either didn't want it or like wanted to donate it, he would put it in the bin, and it was like up for grabs.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like whoever got. So I've gotten like vinyls from there. I've gotten DVDs from there. So the 2 DVDs that I got from there, one was Black Adam on regular DVD, and I was like, this is crazy. I almost gave it away as a white elephant gift, or a white elephant. Is that what that's called?
What is it?
Like Christmas exchange, white elephant exchange.
I know what you're talking. I don't know. I'm not sure what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Anyways, in like a Christmas exchange, I almost gave it away. And then as I'm like doing this physical media thing, I'm like, wouldn't it just be funny to have like one DVD and it's Black Adam?
It's kind of a
then
cool
the other
story.
one, I was doing research and I was like, all right, what are the known to be like some of the greatest 4K transfers of movies of all time? And people call them like the baselines or like the like the precedent. Like if you want to like compare something to that's what you compare to. So there's like this list, and people have different opinions, but usually a lot of the movies fall into the same list. And one of them is Top Gun Maverick, which I've never seen Top Gun. I've never seen Top Gun Maverick, but they say the 4K UHD of that is one of the greatest transfers of all time.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's supposed to be stunning.
And I realized that the other movie that I had on DVD was the 4K UHD Top Gun Maverick.
No way.
Because one of the first weeks at the Tonight Show, they had Miles Teller on to talk about Top Gun Maverick, and he got that DVD and they put it in the bin. and I took it home. And so now I'm trying to find it because I don't know where it went. But I was like, Mom, you have to find it. I know it's here because I've seen the like cover of it and I remember it saying 4K UHD.
Sure, yeah.
And now I'm like so excited because I have this movie that I've never seen. It's supposedly fantastic. And I have it in like the greatest format you could possibly get. And I was like, all right, it's the start of my collection. This is God telling me.
That's a sick start.
I need to start.
Also, I love so much that someone, probably Dwayne himself, gave Jimmy Fallon a copy of Black Adam and he threw it in a free bin.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
It's so there was so much like a lot of really good stuff in there, but then a lot of like the producers would come by and snatch it. So it was like really genuinely great stuff. Like I've gotten some really cool stuff out of there. But those two, like talking physical media, that's I'm very excited about Adam. Both of them for different reasons. So, getting back to plot.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're talking about Paul Blart too.
On the run from one of the bad guys, Paul Blart joins a Vegas show as a performer, which is again one of like the funniest moments, and then hides out backstage as he is hunted. So he realizes their plan and takes action as if we were back in the mall all those years ago. He gears up and takes the latest Segway technology his colleague had been cooking up. Again, this is like set up in that little showcase moment.
Yeah. Check off showcase.
He steals back the Van Gogh painting and calls Vincent, requesting an exchange, the painting for his daughter. Now, Paul reveals that he has collected a group of security guards, and Vincent reveals that he also has an army. This is like an Avengers moment.
Yeah.
And they face off Captain America Civil War style.
And you have the best joke of the movie.
Some way, the security guards beat the trained assassins.
Listen.
I don't know how this is even physically possible, but they like beat them almost no problem.
I was watching the scene and I had the same exact thought. And I'm like, if this was more real, all these security guards would be dead instantly. This would be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes, especially on this show, you just gotta watch it and you go, hey, it's Paul Blart.
It's Paul Blart, and you know what? Now I want to go get a haircut and steal the the little coat that they gave you.
I want to go get a haircut, then beat the shit out of some trained professionals
with my beanbag gun.
No, you can't have that.
I have to have it.
You're not gonna have it.
I need Todd to go back to the props department and get me a beanbag gun.
I quit. You can't be trusted.
So, just when we think that Paul is about to lose and Vincent is going to get everything he had been working towards, Maya rubs oatmeal hand cream on Vincent's face.
Oh, yeah.
Whose skin erupts in an unbelievable amount of hives because he is allergic. Like a comical amount of hives.
Okay, this is going to sound dumb. And I can admit I'm a man and I'm stupid and I don't know this world. Is oatmeal like cream and facial stuff? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. I didn't know. She pulled out, what was it, oatmeal cleanser? Is that what it was?
Something like that, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's a thing?
Yeah. No, that's like legit.
Oh, can you tell that Nick takes care of himself and I don't?
I have a skincare routine because of Maddie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and then so Paul headbutts Vincent and saves the day. This ending, by the way, this like fight to the very end, like when like he wraps up, was so just violently abrupt in comparison to the first movie. Like it feels like the first movie, and this is kind of going into Final Thoughts a little bit, but felt, even though it was like a wild ride, felt like a lot better paced, I think, than this movie. Like I feel like a lot of it was like really paced. I don't know if it was like because they played it to a lot more bits in this one, and like the storyline like wasn't as like solid as the first one.
Fair.
But it felt so abrupt, and they just kind of wrapped it up, and I was like, all right, well, I guess the movie's over.
The movie's done. Well, also, I should have like wrote down the exact time code, but I think like the actual like art heist, I remember checking because by the time it started, it was almost 40 or 50 minutes into only an hour and 20 long movie.
Well, and then it ends like 15 minutes before the actual end of the movie.
That's the thing. Like, I remember when the art heist starts, I'm like, oh, the movie's actually starting, and we're basically halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn. Mm-hmm. And you're right, the movie then just is like, we're done.
Yeah.
Like the wind is kicking us out. We don't have time.
Right. So he convinces the concierge lady that the head of security is in love with her, and that she doesn't actually love Paul, which makes sense because, the other two are both hotties.
She doesn't love Paul like we do.
Right.
That's all I know.
Maya goes to UCLA. Paul finds a potential new lover and gets kicked by her horse into a car, which is one of my favorite bits. And all is well in the world, and that is Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Also, okay, question.
Yeah.
Now that we know what the idea was for Paul Blart 3, that unfortunately might not ever happen, is it canon? Like, can we sit here and say, like, hey, he got that girl's number, and they did end up together, and all is well in the world?
Well, it's kind of implied in the movie, right?
Theoretically, we have insider information, so we know that they did end up together. But is it canon?
In my head canon, it is. I don't know if in the real canon, because it doesn't actually exist.
Well, the real canon, if we're going off what we said earlier, like fucking Thanos shows up and wipes out half the universe, so maybe it's
that's
not.
Right.
Well,
that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like fucking like Dr. Doom's coming.
Yeah, and they're like great grandfathers are like Luke and Leia.
Yeah, they fought in the Clone Wars. And
Yeah, right. Yeah, then I guess like whatever.
So maybe all isn't well in the world.
No, I guess not. Like they're about to get their asses beat by freaking
by RDJ.
Or yeah, him too.
Yeah.
A Latverian guy, I don't know. So going into final thoughts, I will start with you because you chose this movie to come back to for its sequel.
I did.
And I know we ragged on the first one a bit. We came back to the second one. We had a wonderful interview with Todd. So final thoughts, let's hear them.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I really went into this thinking we were just going to like dog on it and just go so hard. And I know my dad listens to every episode and he always says the best episodes are the ones where you guys fucking hate the movie and like you can barely talk about it. And I'm like, okay, this will be a chore, but like to get through, but it'll be a fun episode. Mm-hmm. And then as I was watching it, I know this is the point of the show, but like I got brought back to me and that fucking movie gang in like 6th grade, just sitting there in the theater having the greatest time of our lives, thinking that we could direct Citizen Kane at the age of like 13. And there was just this big old blanket of nostalgia, and then talking to Todd, and he was so cool, and it was such a fun interview. And honestly, my two biggest things with this movie was the pacing is just whack.
Yeah.
Which I still think holds true. The pacing is so bizarre. And then most of my life, I did carry the belief that this was a big commercial for the win. And then finding out, actually, no, not really. Mm-hmm. It does really change how I view the film. Yeah. So, will I go as far to say I really like this movie? I don't know about that.
Sure.
But like, I did have a really good time with this, and it was genuinely fun to revisit.
Yeah. No, so for me, and it's funny because I think we're flipped with the nostalgia because of just our history with it. Like, you remember this one a lot more than the first one, and I remember the first one a lot more than this one. And I think it kind of shows in kind of what our final thoughts are. Because, yes, I agree that the pacing on this one was crazy, especially comparing it immediately to the first one, because we both watched them back to back. I think the jokes landed more in the first one for me because of that nostalgia. And I felt like they were trying to do a little bit too much to up the ante of the first one, which comparatively now has a lot of charm compared to this one. So I think for me, it fell a little flat in a lot of places. But again, there were moments that you could tell that everyone was having fun on the set, which at the end of the day is the most important thing. It's funny in some places. It's a fun time, and I do think, as much as we ragged on the first one in the other episode, I do think, and again, maybe it's the blanket of nostalgia, but I think that I do like the first one more.
No.
So that's where I'll leave it. So going into, and I know it's been a while, so I can refresh you and also the audience, but ranking system.
Oh,
so
I forgot I had this.
You forget every time.
episode.
Do we even want to keep doing it? No. So the ranking system that Pelton created and then immediately forgot about.
Correct.
But he thought it was a genius idea at the moment and then just does not think about it anymore.
Nope.
Thank God I put it in my notes. But so the ranking system for these movies, instead of out of 5 stars, we rank it on whether or not at the very top we would buy it on 4K. A step below that, we would buy it secondhand, DVD, whatever. Third step down is watching it on streaming. And then fourth is what? Like never revisiting
Never watch
it again?
Yeah. And also,
So
now
where
that
would
you're
this fall?
getting into physical media, this applies to both of us.
That's very true.
You can also do the ranking system.
I have in the past.
That's true. But now, instead of
now
like
it's
the
like
Pelton
legit.
ranking
Yeah,
system,
yeah.
it's the Greenlit ranking
Yeah,
system.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you had asked me like 48 hours ago where I would probably rank this, it would be never, ever, ever watch this again. Where I'm going to be honest, I do have the first Paul Blart and never watch this again. But because of my middle school connection to it, and because we got to talk to Todd, and I think that's like getting to talk to these people. It's always so cool. It's always such a cool like just conversation piece, especially if I whipped out like a Blu-ray, and they're like, "Why do you have this?" I'm like, "Dude, I got to talk to the producer," and like it's now a whole thing. So I think I would buy this on sale.
Okay.
I wouldn't
I think
drop
that's the
30 or
first time
40.
that you've said that. I think it's
I know,
all
and
been streaming.
For Paul Blart 2, I'm shocked that's coming
impressive.
out of my mouth.
That is very impressive.
Maybe I'm just in a really good
Hoodwinked,
mood.
You were like, oh, streaming.
No, the first Hoodwinked, I would buy that shit full price.
4K?
I would buy it 4K Steelbook, like full fucking price.
Perfect.
Hoodwinked 2, I would only do streaming.
Yeah, okay. So
But now,
for me...
again, Paul Blart
oh, yeah.
1, I was going to say, Paul Blart 1 will never be on my fucking shelf. But Paul
Would you watch
Blart
it
2...
on streaming, or would you never watch it again?
If I was like high as God, I think I would watch it on streaming.
Okay, so for me, for this one, I would say that if I watched it the way that I watched it yesterday with people, not by myself, but with people who appreciated it and like had a good time watching it, I would probably, in my ranking system, I would put it at watching on streaming. Because
Okay.
again, I didn't have as much nostalgia there, and I think I liked the first one slightly more. But I would still, it's not like I would never watch it again. It definitely takes the right audience for me to come back to this.
Fair.
But I would watch it on streaming. So that's
Now,
where it
wait a
falls.
minute. Actually, I don't think you can do the ranking system.
Why?
Well, because you just said like 20 minutes ago you want to own every movie we cover on
Oh
Greenlit.
yeah. So that's a different endeavor.
Okay,
This
like,
is like
pretend
yeah.
that isn't real.
Well, because like I'm gonna have to buy Fred the movie on DVD.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough.
And that's like really
purchase.
depressing.
That's gonna be a really
It's like
tough
really
purchase.
depressing.
That's such a waste of money.
So it's gonna be tough. But I do want to do it just for like the precedent of like I have the whole thing. The show means a lot to me. And like I want to be able to like look at 70, at a certain point it'll be like 150
Jesus Christ.
DVDs and be like, we've covered all of these. This is insane.
So
Like,
okay, when
this is a
you
lot of
do
our
the
lives.
when you do the ranking system, we're pretending like you don't want to own the Greenlit movies.
We're using it as a ranking system. It's not like the reality of
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, I can.
So like
I can
out
rock
of
with
4
that.
stars, I'd give it 2.
Okay, then I'd only watch it on streaming. I gotta change my
But no,
answer.
but I'm explaining it more as like it is a ranking system. But yes, I would watch it on streaming. You could say you'd buy it on DVD because it's the reality of it. But
Yeah, because I don't want to own all the Greenlit movies.
that's fair. But one final thought on Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
I can't believe this got greenlit.
Thank you all for listening. I know this is definitely on the longer side for one of our episodes, but if you made it this far, we appreciate you dearly. And again, thank you so much to Todd for taking time out of his day to talk with us and give us such incredible insight. Stay tuned next week for more fun guests and crazy sequels, and we'll talk to you then. Bye. Bye.
See ya.
This has been a Quaywood audio production.